Holy shit, what a slapping track. That is Sigersta by Spring Gang. And that is actually, believe it or not, in the Charger. I've already started scoring it in my head. And so that song is about positive energy and running forward very stupidly. Tonight, the game is going to be Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, aka I'm a Bad Admiral Simulator. You're going to see how very little I understand and how stupid this all is. And oh, look, joining me tonight is Mr. Crows. Hello, Mr. Crow.
Hello.
All right, so
I
I'm going to
heard that you
switch.
needed a co-host. I know nothing about naval warships, so I'm the perfect
Well,
candidate.
You are exactly the amount of expertise we need for YouTube. So here,
Right, I'll just relay chat, and you just answer questions the best you're able while
Yeah.
you blow shit up. How's
I'm
that
going to
sound?
do my best. I showed my boss my naval shipbuilding expertise with a screenshot. And the screenshot was very, very simple. All I did was show 54 nothing. That is 54 ships to 0 losses in a Jetland-style engagement. And he was like, how? And I said, picric acid. So what we're going to do is we're going to, you know what? Let's tell an alternate history. Let's let Mike decide. Which country?
Oh, wait, I just somebody asked if I should build a ship, and I said, no way, Tex wants to win.
No, we can make memes happen. Let's be British, French, German, Italian, or Austro-Hungary in its current status.
You know what? With that last statement, I think Austro-Hungary sounds just as good as any. I just ate some food, but
Austro-Hungarian Empire. So we're going Habsburgs. We're going to go with random, and the year is 1890. 1890. 1890. Ah, yes, the main class, famous for exploding. All right. I know it's not. Don't worry. I'm not going to confuse the issue. I know I'm just trying to bait out my well-actuallys before we start. Okay, so I have an idea for a doctrine that's really stupid, and I tested this. There's this concept that came out in modern navies called distributed lethality, where you build a modern distributed lethality force instead of concentrating all your firepower in capital ships. You just build a bunch of crap. So what if we did that in 1890 to see if like 1980s battle doctrine is real? Because if it works for Rambo, it'll work for us, right?
yeah, no, this sounds great. You know, Austro-Hungarian Empire, they asked for it. They named their country after a feeling we all have, usually around this time of day.
Hungary?
So that's on them.
The twin crowns of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. All right, no, sure, I'm with you. So light cruiser, apparently this, what is a name? What should we call this class of cruiser? A whole class of ships, Mike. It's a light cruiser. It's going to be very quick.
Hold on a second. I actually have an answer for that. Just give me 1 second. Hold on, I gotta pull the name up because I don't want to get this wrong. Because then you'll be mad at me. Okay. This is gonna be the Brahms class.
Okay. Brahms, right? Yeah. Okay.
Brahms
fine.
class.
No, that's fine.
Classy.
And Lord Grimos, he's gonna take a picture of his combined arms militia battalion. Cool. All right. So we have the Brahms class. Okay. Now, speed back at this point in time, 20 knots was pretty quick. So I'm going to go ahead and break history by, let's see if we can get 24. No. Looks like engine says no. Let's do 22. Nope, still not. 20 knots. 20 knots is where it's at. That is the engine efficiency. However, there will be much smunk. All right, let's put in some baby guns because big guns are expensive.
I mean, as long as you have people who can shoot really well, you don't really need big guns.
Well, yeah, that's it. And also,
like if everybody on your ship was a Call of Duty character, yeah, it would be perfect.
I agree. And don't worry, we're gonna make this even better. Because okay, can I get 21 knots? Give me 20. Damn it! All right, 20 knots. 20 knots. That is fine. 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 Okay, if they're getting... Oh my god, we're using black powder still. Ugh. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Time to break history this way. 6-inch belt.
24 knots is not enough. I
2-inch
think that
belt.
ship needs to go
2-inch
faster.
belt. Yeah, unfortunately, in this time period, engines are governed by these flappy boys that are called pistons, right? And there is a finite speed at which these pistons can operate before they begin to disassemble at speed. Which
And this is not a diesel-powered ship.
No. This is steam. we are moving pistons the size of houses up and down at speed. So
And I've seen some of these ships engines that you showed me from smaller ships. So these are pretty intense.
yeah, these are big boys. I have 20 light cruisers. That is the Austro-Hungarian Navy. We have optioned
Look at the
for
British Empire. They have so many ships now. They finished the construction of so many things.
well, yeah, they'll do that. They every year they build more stuff because they hate us. So what I'm going to be doing is we just finished a cruiser design called the Brahms, which is nice, and we're going to build another 20 of them because they're cheap. And we're just going to sit here and be very calm and collected and quiet and just hang out in our nice little sea while Italy sits there and tries to bully us. And we're not going to be bullied by Italy. If Italy decides to bully, I will clap them. I don't want to. But they brought this on
Italy.
themselves.
You guys make really good food. Why do you have to be so mean?
I just told the British Empire that I'm not interested in becoming part of their co-op. And I'm going to tell foreign journalists that we have no money for more weapons. So they give us more money, but I've also increased the unrest in my government because they're wondering why I would say something like that. So what I'm going to do...
June in 1890.
It is 1890. It is 1890. It is an era of wool and drab and smunk. Let's see. More naval funds or make everyone mad? More naval funds. I'm just going to build my navy. Yeah. Oh, naval prestige, of course. We're going to try to make our empire very nice. Now, as soon as we get up to a certain size of cruiser design, I'm going to rapidly redevelop the fleet as a faster, nastier fleet.
Oh. December 1890 is kind of interesting.
All right. Are you looking into like this day in history? Or is that what you're doing?
No. I just remember there was some kind of fight between us and the Native Americans, something like that in 1890 December.
Ah, a fart noise
Very
at the
vaguely.
same time. Excellent.
Wild Rose just made a mistake and
Yeah.
subscribed.
Backing us? Well, interesting
oh, hey,
choice.
it's Griglak, son of Griglak. He's in the chat. He said,
Oh.
buy the nunchuck upgrade.
I wish. Shipboard nunchucks. All right, let's see. Engines, triple expansion steam engine. So this is a really amazing technology. Instead of just letting the steam dump off, like, it moved the piston, it's done working. Some guy was like, what if we expanded the piston in 3 areas, high, middle, and low pressure steam? And, God, that scared the shit out of me. Jesus.
I didn't hear it, but I can see it happening.
No, when it happens, I get
know what
startled.
happens.
No, I get startled.
The Night Owl giving Tex anxiety one sub at a time.
I see. I'm not cut out for streaming. People
Thank
are like,
you so much for that, man.
Well,
That was really kind of you.
people are like, why did you stop streaming for like 1,100 people on your main channel? And I'm like, I get startled at that. Imagine if I had the Twitch thing on. Oh God,
If you had a
I'd lose
convention,
it.
it would be a very small room.
Yeah, if I had a
That's all
convention, it would be 4 people at a time, and 2 hours between groups.
Yeah, and we would just sit around watching YouTube videos that you really enjoy, which is
Not my
the
stuff.
best pastime,
No, it's not my stuff.
and
It's
safe.
usually like actually, let's look at this guy going into his peel pattern naval gunfire breakdown, and like that'll be the stuff that excites me. Or we'll put on
You're like, hey, you guys ever seen a real Maxim gun being used before? And then you just pull up a full video where we watch like an hour of people shooting a Maxim gun and eat steak. It's pretty awesome.
It's not for everyone. it's autism manifests in many ways, you know. But I'm just gonna keep.
Is point gun considered a naval weapon?
A what?
A point gun? I don't know what that is. Oh, punt gun. Sorry, I misread that.
Well, it depends. You do use them from a punt, which is a boat. It is industrial gun though. It would fall under the same category as the Remington Master Blaster, which is a kiln gun.
There's a lot of people redeeming water breaks and posture checks and stuff. Me and Tex literally just did that like less than like 45 minutes ago as we passed each other in the hallway, and we didn't really say anything. It just like
I'm trying to rest my eyes and play a game and move my back, which is fucked up. Do we need to hire a nurse that can just do chiropractic adjustments? Like, oh, chat has deemed you to be, you know.
35 years from now, we'll be on IVs. I'm sure.
Oh, I can only hope.
Oh no, we'll be like 60 something. Never mind.
No, I'm getting IVs early. I'm gonna be an early adopter.
Okay.
I'm gonna be an early adopter. Oh wow. Adopt into sure, yeah. I'll put some money into another nation's shipyard. No big deal. We'll do a little bit of money. Yeah. All right. Yeah, we need to. France decided to say some things about us, and I'm not interested.
Yeah, they can say whatever they want. It's when they come over here with their stupid ships that they're gonna have a problem.
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. Is I'm going. Okay, now I have my fleet. Now we're going to do a refit because all they go is, oh, all he has is these old shitty ships, and that's a lie because now I can refit them. So now I can have better shitty ships.
Another player, Andis46, says, hey, Tex, in my campaign as the Brits, it's 1909, and the Germans have 228 torpedo boats and 102 destroyers.
That sounds delightfully insane.
It sounds like the beginning of that, sounds like an early beginning to Man in the High Castle or something.
Yeah, but in like, it's Imperial Germany.
World War I edition.
Yeah, that would be weird. That show got weird. I was waiting for that show to get good, and it didn't. It just got weirder. I was like, all right.
Why does the Remington Master Blaster look like it was made by turn-of-the-century John Deere?
Because it is designed. Because it's designed to be used in a kiln. It is an industrial gun. It uses industrial shotgun shells to shoot lead slag out of a refinery kiln all day long.
Oh man, Greg Lack has a great a great answer. He says they should make a 40K version of this game, Ultimate Dreadnoughts Admiral, a bunch of sailing ships manned by Dreadnought crew.
Oh God.
Yeah, buy metal bird, save your city.
All right, so I'm going to spend lots and lots of money. Now we're refitting our fleet, which is neat, but we need to build a new fleet to replace the old fleet because they're what?
I saw it said -6 million on your balance sheet. How do you function as a navy with it being in the black?
Because I have an enormous naval funds that I'm abusing temporarily.
I see it there.
I have hoarded enormous sums of money so that I can go way off the books on these programs. So when other people are like, I can't afford bread, I'm like, that's a lie. And then I just have, like black operations budget or coincidence range finding like years early.
Hello.
I have some bad ideas. All right, let's see. What does he want? Yeah. They're like, France upset. And I'm like, good.
France is always upset.
I hope they are.
Their thing. That's kind of their thing. They pride themselves on being very upset.
They're the most upset people in Europe. No, I think that'd be the Italians, which I'm probably going to have to fight a war against.
Yeah, but which part of Italy has the best food? Is it northern Italy or
If you
Sicily?
ask an Italian that, you will have 100 answers within 3 minutes. and they will.
I know.
That's
I
they.
know it.
Yeah, they'll just be like, "Oh, I see. You have decided to die today. You have
That's how a lot of
chosen."
wars started. Someone just didn't like the taste of that food over there in central Italy.
Yeah, they're just like, "Oh, those guys stole our food." It's like, well, did they literally come over with guns and take your food away from you? And they like narrow their eyes, like you're one of them. And you're like, "Oh, I'm in
Pat says
trouble."
everyone rolls their eyes at the moment they hear the whiny mating call of the French.
Well,
Merde.
I'm gonna continue to provoke the French as I no, I'm
They're
just
over
going.
there. They're so far away.
No, they're not. I'm on the other side of the Mediterranean. This is like two kids fighting in a bathtub. This is
This is like two kids fighting between the principal. You have like the Italians like right in between you guys, and you're like, yeah, well, come over here and say that. No, you fucking come over here and say that.
exactly. I'm just being a jerk in the middle. They're like, "What are you gonna do?" And I'm like, "I have one operations plan." Ah, God, scared me. I have one operations plan.
follow.
And the operations plan is very stupid and it's very dangerous. But I'm going to take my whole navy and I'm going to ram it into Gibraltar as quick as possible like a chalk. And I'm going to prevent the whole French fleet from getting into the Mediterranean. And then I'm going seal clubbing. I'm going to hunt them down 50-1 with these cheap ships. And they're going to go, "Why have you built this?"
Well, you can always answer them correctly, or you can just shrug, which is probably the most, I'd say the most evil way to like deal with any problems. Just shrug, like,
Yeah.
you're
Pretty
attacking
much.
our city. Hundreds of our ships have sank. Blah.
Yeah, well, don't worry about it. It's just boring. It's all very boring. And as soon as I get these new technologies, as soon as I get turbines, it's on like Donkey Kong. Because I'm going to get up to 30 fucking knots before people even grace 25. I'm going to run them down like cigarette boats. It's going to be great. I told the French Empire no several times. They seem to be very upset.
Yeah, they're watching you build a giant navy, upgrading all of your ships, and then continuously poking at them. They're like really worried right now that you're gonna go to war with them.
I think that's rude. I think that's rude. They think that way. I have
There's
only
no spies needed. They can just look over Italy and go, "Wow, there's an entire sea of just."
I
ships
think
over there."
from I think in all honesty, from one end of my coast to the other, you could probably walk on the whole coastline without getting your feet wet. That's how many ships I have waiting. Is there just it's an iron shoreline. I'm just like, let's do this. Come on, France. You know you want to go to war. Come on. You know you want to go to war.
They're watching you upgrade your ships with malicious intent, and they're like, "Not for me, thank you."
I'm like, oh no, the French Empire has increased its navy budget. Well, we better have more navy budget ourselves, or the French will build a larger navy.
Yeah, that's how you get your taxpayers roused up right there.
Exactly. I mean, it's about understanding. It's the little things. It's the little things. Don't worry about it. Now, here's the best part: is we've got this. Hold on. We've got this ship, the Brahms, right? Yes. Which we've kept for so many years as a simple ship, and people are just like, "Oh, this is a crappy boat." They're wrong, because I'm slowly behind the scenes upgunning it, just keeping these piece of shit old boats continually upgunned with better and better munitions and this latest thing called picric acid, which
you need to do as much damage as you can before they start making movies. Because once movies start happening, you're in trouble.
What do you
you're
mean?
in big trouble. They're gonna start filming you do all this stuff, and then all of a sudden people are gonna realize what kind of person you are. You can't let that happen. You got to stop the movie industry.
So
as
I
soon
have
as you're
this.
done with,
So
as soon as you're done with them, you have to go to America and say no. Who's making these moving pictures? You need to stop.
well, that would be Edison and Eastman Kodak, and I think the movie capital of the world in the 1890s was like New Jersey. I mean, that's
So,
crazy
you're
to
telling
think
me that
of.
You just think about this. The Austro-Hungarian fleet, which Captain Pantsu Goblin points out, has the most famous naval power of all time, shows up in New Jersey, just starts bombing.
I am here to destroy Teaneck, New Jersey. Why? Yeah, I'm just telling, I'm just literally staying out of international politics unless the question of the French gets up. When the question of the French arises, I am like, thus always to France. I'm just going to be absolutely belligerent the whole time.
You want to be outdone by the French? Exactly. Now shut up and starve and give me your money. Exactly. That's how you talk to your people.
Dude, I'm a Habsburg. Now, I'm deleting the Brahms class because not a step back, always a step forward. And as you know, the first step in engineering is throwing everything you learned away. So we're going to build an even bigger ship. Oh, man. Look at
the Brahms-A.
The Brahms. Okay. Now, here's my question. Ooh, yeah. Let's do this. And let's do 22 knots. Okay. And this is going to be Brahms-A. Because we're doing Star Trek, Mike.
We are. Dash A. Exactly.
Dash A. Even though it's a completely different hull.
Classic. Well, yeah. Well, think about it. The original Enterprise, I mean, it's a cool ship for the 60s, but we both know that would have never really stood up in real fights, man. It was just for the show. We both know that when real fighting started, the Miranda class came in and cleaned up the real fucking those are the people that carry the weight right there.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do in Sane Land is we're going double guns side by side.
Yes.
See, we're just gonna use Mike's cursedness when it comes to guns.
There's a lot of nice guns though. I've been in a barbette before.
I hear I was in a barbette shop quartet.
A barbette shop. I like that your guns on the side it's very clipper ship style with the way the cannons.
Oh yeah, it's stupid. This is a very bad. Oh my god, the game is freaking out at gun placement. It's like you're gonna destroy your bridge, and I'm like, no, I'm not. That sounds crazy. There you go.
Now I have this game, and I have used the powers of memory editing to allow me to have whatever I want, and it is quite funny.
I know
when you have a ship that can't go over 2 knots, but it has like 800 guns on it.
That is fun. That is pretty damn fun. So this.
Yeah, exactly. Fight me, you cowards. It's like, no, we'll just fly. We'll just swim around you. You're like, come back here.
All right, 23 knots is what I can get with the Brahms-A. This is like pushing warp 8 in the original series.
Oh yeah, warp 8. The ship, like the fucking self-sealing stem bolts started coming out of the walls.
Yeah. All right, so we're just gonna make these way over armored for the era, and okay, you know what? I'll take that armor off the conning tower. Officers don't need it. Very low opinion of them. There we go.
Are you just making it shorter? They don't need to see that high.
Yeah, let's just cut the armor lower. You know, they're like, is there less armor coverage? No. You can duck below the armored wall. It's just...
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, that's
23 knots,
tactic.
lots of smunk. All right, so we're gonna build 20 of the Brahms-A. They're more expensive. They're like the Excelsior refits, you know.
The only thing that could destroy this fleet is if they somehow had some sort of flying machine in which to drop bombs on. Unfortunately,
what
such a thing
preposterous! A man would sooner climb to the moon in his sleep than conquer heavier than air flight. God, I wish I could be that stupid. I wish.
No, you just start sending seagulls over with the hand grenades tied to them.
My God, nature has turned against us, Nigel. Get.
They're plinking, like they're just shooting seagulls because they're bored or whatever out there in the sea, and then just one of them explodes, and they're like, "Oh fuck, we should tell the captain about this."
Dude, that would be different. So here's what we're gonna do: is we're just. No one wants to fight us because we have this enormous navy of really fast, dangerous ships or something. That's fucking crazy.
Well, you're also between Italy, so they're like, well, we don't want to start a fight in their backyard. We'd have to go to fight 2 people.
I will fight all of them at once.
I think they both know that.
I will gladly fight all of them at once. I I will be extremely belligerent. I'm used to games like Xenonauts and XCOM. I'm like, bring it on. I do not have the port capacity for my Navy. Like, I cannot do maintenance. That's how many ships I have. I have to go lose them now.
You need to start building offshore maintenance facilities, like little islands and stuff.
I told it we can't. We can't make Mother Base, dude. I'm sorry.
It's such a great idea.
It is a terrible idea.
In this era?
In this era, yeah. I mean, yeah, because you don't actually have cracking of petrochemicals until 1908.
Well, I was thinking just like a place where you store a gun, you know? Kind of like that one island. I know that was a bit ahead of its time, but...
hold on. Oh, hold on. I just yelled. Yeah, we're at war with the French.
Finally, you got 15 naval prestige for that as well.
Yeah.
Funding from the government.
Yeah, the government was like,
sick.
yeah, the government was like, blow them up, and I'm like, thank you. All right, let's do this. Let's go to war. Let's go to war. Let's take our boys. They have just punched their ticket. All right, the whole fleet. Let us blockade Gibraltar to start. Thank you, Mr. Train. I agree. War crimes ahead. Then let's just go ahead and set off Nice, because that would be nice. And then
You're gonna go to Gibraltar?
Yeah, well, I've split my fleet into 3 flotillas based off of their port. I'm going to make a high-speed run for Nice and Marseille, and I'm going to blockade those ports, and I'm going to just shell rich people, and then I'm going to go over here and set off Gibraltar. So if they try to bring the Western fleet out of the channel, which they have versus the Germans out there, they're going to find out the Mediterranean is closed. So here we go.
They didn't want to go to war with you. I didn't know they were going to war with somebody else right now.
I don't know. That's their big deal.
I don't look up there.
Uh-oh.
That's
Clash of Fleets. It looks like their whole... wow, they brought everything. So did I.
Uh-oh, this is what you've been wanting the whole time.
This is what I wanted. I wanted Jutland 1890s, and we're going to have it.
I said this before off of stream to text, but I would love to be like just a camera person in a game like this, like a spectator, and I could just like fly a camera around for stream. That
would be great. Okay, so it says they're at the northwest, which is funny because I know that's a lie. So I'm going to do Battle of Manila style. I'm going to try to get my guys in some fucking battle formation, and I'm going to hope they all don't ram into each other. And I'm going to tell them to liberally use the HE and shoot in all directions as quickly as possible. Because I have no time for any of these ships to come back empty. I want to fight a Kante Kessen style engagement, the Japanese decisive blow, in the 1890s. I wanted to prove that with Mary Poppins technology you could do this, and a distributed fleet architecture in the 1890s. This is my thesis. Let's see if this is possible. So let's do Norwest, and then let's do Northwest, and then we'll do a little bit of that, and then we'll take a little bit of that, and there. All right, there we go. Now they're going to ram into each other, and you're going to understand that some of these driving sounds are collision, you know, and that's kind of normal in what they do. And so a lot of these doctrines and tactics are not new. Every nation with tradition of fleet activity has their own huge schools of naval doctrine, and some of them are very, very interesting reads. Listening how these guys figure out how to fight 10-1 or how to defend their borders or economic zones, you'll find a lot of really aggressive naval strategies out there. I'm using a mix of them in this just to see if they apply without battleships or heavier surface combatants or lighter ones, using a standard size surface combatant. So it's a bunch of weird ideas.
You know, what was that movie where an aircraft carrier goes back in time to World War II?
Oh my God! All right, the Final Countdown, I believe.
Final Countdown, yeah.
Yeah.
Just imagine that, but like you send like 1980s ships back to like Clipper ship era.
That would be weird because a lot of the weapons wouldn't work very well. Like a harpoon has a lot of sensors in it, but an 80s era harpoon would be like, yeah, I'd say they'd probably hit a tall ship and put a hole in it, but they would just be like, the ship exploded for no reason.
They have power beyond our understanding.
I don't think like Spydar or Aegis works well against a bunch of wooden ships. It would be like, I think the system would be like, that's a buoy. That's not a vessel. I think it would just be like, no. All right, so I've got his fleet right there bunched up. I've got ships falling out of formation. I'm going to try as best I can to force these guys. There they are. The battleships are further back. All right, now we got to muscle our way in.
What is that guy who does all the... Is it called a flag officer who does the lights on the ship to be like, hey, we're going to turn this
Oh, you
way,
mean
or...
semaphore. This would
Yeah.
still be flags, and they would be standing out here on the wings, the area that's in the smoke and fire. Yeah, they'd be out there doing that right now. I've got a good view. All right, let's turn avoid off. We can't be shy now, can we? All right, let's bring these formations in and just begin to show people the joys of chemistry with picric acid at point-blank range. You don't need to penetrate armor to sink ships. You only need to make it hotter than an oven. Here we go. Oh, look, one of their cruisers. That's fucking crazy. They're having themselves a whole bunch of problems. Now, they are beating the absolute tar out of my Navy. But...
Look, if I was on the deck of that ship right now, I would be down in there, and I would just be like, you would be, hey, how's it going down there? I'd be like, it's kind of warm. It's a little warm down here.
They're having a barbecue on deck.
Yes, they are.
And
more ways than one.
They're having a bad day. Now look, their battleships are over here actually trying to disengage, which no, I disagree. That's why the light cruisers. Yeah, you can't get out of this fight. This is let's go ahead and lay some smonk. So they're gonna have trouble coming in on the guys as the battleships go in, and all right, we're gonna break in through here. As Nelson said, you are seldom doing wrong as a naval commander when you endeavor to put your vessel alongside that of the enemy's. Let's watch these beautiful torpedo shots right there, and oh dear, right in the feels. Ooh. He is going right. Oh, his name is Rochambeau. I took him up on his offer. Rochambeau, sir. Good day. All right, now we are going to turn left. These battleships will not escape.
No.
The light cruisers are chasing. They're gonna have a bad day. Here we go. Yes, it appears something is bloody right with our ships today. Yes. Considering the rest of the battle fleet has not even arrived yet and the conga line of death is just eating people alive like Thomas the Tank Engine on meth, this is great. All right, so we're going to just keep cruising. Look at this guy. He's having himself a fire. Wouldn't it be amazing if torpedoes just flew into him for no reason?
Oh, that would be that would be excellent. Actually, I think what would be great on your ship is to have like a band, kind of like the Titanic does.
Oh, yeah.
That movie that about a ship that didn't actually exist.
Oh God, I remember when people were asking me about. They were talking about Titanic conspiracy theories, and they were like,
"I know, it's so ridiculous." I was like, "Wait, what?"
There was a guy. There was a guy who told me, "How do you think they got such clear footage of the Titanic for the movie?" And I just sat back and I said, "Repeat what you just said to me."
Panasonic, that's the answer, obviously.
I was just like, it's like, someone made this. And I'm like, yeah, there's a shipyard, in fact, a whole industry about it. I remembered when Passion of the Christ came out, people said, are you going to go see Passion of the Christ? I said, read the book a few times, and they said, there's a book.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Hey man, whichever movie theater you keep going to, you have some real interesting characters that you've met. Cause
I met
that guy with
there was the
1911.
I'm saying it's Saving Private Ryan. That old fucker was probably the last time he ever went to a movie theater, and it is part of his odyssey passing through life. He saw the 1911 shooting the Tiger tank, and it blowing up, and he just turned around and he was like, "Yep, they'll do that." Now, whether he meant
He was
that Tiger
there.
tanks would just...
That was him.
Yeah, he's just like, yep. So I'm sure he
He
waited
was
his...
Tom Hanks.
I'm sure he waited his whole life to do that. Like, I'm going to go see a war movie. I'm going to tell people that was me.
Yeah, I saved Private Ryan. What an asshole.
That guy came home and did nothing. All he did was invent a new unicycle, motherfucker. I said earn this. That's why I got up and hit him. Oh, it's a split shot. Oh, is it torpedo beat? He got lucky. You got lucky. You won't be lucky for long, though, because you're running into it's always clobbering time.
Look at the name of that ship that's on fire right there. I couldn't even see
Cassard.
it.
Oh, the
Not
other
that
one?
one, the other one. Yeah.
Kaiserin
The one-
und Königin Maria Theresa. That's for the emperor, or empress, rather.
Yeah.
So, as it looks out...
They're so on fire. They're like, we came in the nick of time. Are you guys okay? And you're like, are you okay?
I'm just going to chase these people around. I think I know what I would have. I would have my guys on the deck of one of these ships with like a cat and a horn, and just have it going meow over the water at them. So in between the gunfire, they just hear this cat meowing at them, and they're like, "Why?" I would just be really weird.
Psychological warfare, man. Your ships are equipped for everything.
Well, think about it. This guy is sitting back here. He has to look through all the coal smoke and everything, and he looks behind them and sees horizon to horizon rolling coal at him at like 20 knots, and he's like, "Oh fuck!" Including this ship over here, which is half sinking and on fire and gaining on him. Now, imagining through the smoke and flame hearing a cat like meow over a horn, or a phonograph being cranked playing like big band music. You have like some happy people playing music like "Happy Days Are Here Again," dun, 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 as you're just chasing them, and they're like, "Oh God!"
I just imagine like the band is playing over the like over the like megaphone, and it's just like bah, bah, bah. They get hit. And it's like bah, 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 bah.
I think no, I would have a live band like just at the bottom of the ship with an enormous phonograph horn going through it, and it would just be like the doof wagon going around, and you'd have like sitting there, you know, playing old-timey ragtime music and just cruising around and be like, "Hey, let's hear the Tiger Rag," and just shelling people, you know, adding a little bit of music. Psyops, but 1890s.
I agree. This is what naval warfare was missing back then, was psyops and lots of armor. It looks like.
Well, yeah. See, what's funny is they're exhausting most of their ammunition and finding out my ships don't care. They just don't. It's all they hear is bonk and nothing happens. Speaking of bonk, I'm about to give this guy the good. Here we go. It's time for bonk. I think
So the music room is experiencing an ammo explosion.
you're like a violin skip, and then just fire come out of the horn. You're like, "Oh, they got him." All right, yar.
Oh, the Stradivarius.
They say you can't do drive-bys at sea. That's a lie.
Oh, that's beautiful.
All right, so he's dead in the water. I'm dealing with fire, but I'll be all right. Uh-oh, here comes another one. Yeah, let's send him to old Davy Jones. Let's go look at the other guys making their pursuit. We are the battleships are heaving and hawing back and forth, trying to get as many guns on the problem as possible. We are beating the shit out of their escorts. This group is, well, he'll be dead soon. Night, night, sweet prince.
Redneck folk music, meaning violins and a guy telling ships to do-si-do.
That would be great. Can you drift a Dreadnought? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. In fact, I could build a very speedy Dreadnought if I can unlock turbines.
Somebody asked if you could drift a starship, and it's like, yeah, absolutely. Flight controls off, man.
Well, I was gonna say that
RCS all the way.
Well, it's not only that. I mean, in space, things are gonna stay with significant inertia. Boats do the same. But yeah, all right. Now we're just gonna chase this last guy down for daring to show up, and then let's see if we can force them to surrender with one naval battle. That hasn't been true since about Admiral Nelson's era, but I like it. We're going to make a torpedo run because I paced these guys with my second torpedo squadron. And pardon as I've been a little distracted issuing orders and jumping between squadrons as quick as I can. I'm using the heavy cruisers just to continue bullying these guys, even though they can only proceed at limited speed.
I have to no. You're really talented at this game, considering the fact that you're not only streaming it and explaining what you're doing, but you're doing all these actions very, very quickly. This is a game most people play in silence with a cup of coffee.
Oh, I've been playing this at ×3 speed. The thing is that I love stuff like Aegis missile simulations and shit, so I'm used to plugging and playing pretty quick. RTS is my thing. So this guy is turning left. He's got 2 engines out, falling out of formation. I need to turn that off. If I can get a good 20 or 30 second run and manage to pull out of this, I can get on those battleships. If I can disable one, I can kill both. I just need to get them to fall out of formation and try to turn. If I can continue bricking them on the left, though.
A line of ships just chasing down these guys.
Oh, yeah. Well, the idea is my ships turn in turn as they take engagement losses. I wanted them to do an approach kind of like Jackie Chan bad guys, onesies and twosies. Because if they shoot back with heavy weapons or torpedoes and are actually dangerous with them, I'll lose 2 ships, not all of them.
Oh, okay. That's smart.
So, let's see. Yeah, this guy is just trying to run for it, and he can't because his ship is on fire. And
how old is Davy Jones?
Well, I don't know. Probably a good long while. He's been down there a while. All right, so the battleships have a weak point, and he cannot turn left anymore without running into torpedoes. Uh-oh. Oh, that guy's just decided to go ahead and sink because my torpedoes are about as accurate as shitting off a mountain.
Oh, I know what their strategy is. They're thinking if they leave one behind, the other 2 can flee.
That's not going to happen. I'm way faster than he is. And my fleets have way more ammo than he does. This guy's trying to turn. That is a mistake. Survey says that was stupid. Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, he's going to bite it. And the rest of my guys are just trading fire with him. They're not getting away. And their battleships are already faltering armor-wise. This guy is going to have a series of structural faults very, very quickly because I'm tired of chasing him, and I'm going to introduce him to ramming speed. All right, so flank it is.
We're having a war with Germany, and they're just like, what the fuck? Why are you guys attacking us?
Oh, wow, that torpedo just blew up out of nowhere. That was great. Okay, bonk. Yeah, that's a dud. Here we go. At speed, too. Oh, please, please, please. Hold on. Throwing rudder. There we go. Ooh, yeah.
Yes. Oh, God.
Oh, and look at those frames fill. Good night. Damage control that. Oh, one of their other battleships burned down. Excellent. Oh dear. Everyone's having bad days. Oh man, this guy with the flooding, it's like someone just bumped into him. See, believe it or not, you should never ram a ship dead on, because you want to open as many frames as possible.
Oh, okay. I'm learning a lot from this.
Alright, here we go. There we go. Let's help him out.
Boink.
There you go. Yeah, just open those frames and let's overwhelm those pumps and have what we like to call a progressive flooding event, which is sinking. If anyone ever says something suffered a progressive flooding event, that meant water got to where it shouldn't, and very quickly. That means losing boat. Speaking of losing boat, I think this is their last one. Corbett. I don't know. Now, for anyone who says that tumble home hulls don't work, I use tumble homes to beat this guy's ass, and I think they're working just fine. Better living through chemistry. Picric acid.
Yeah.
Now, I understand if any of my ships takes a significant hit, there's no amount of armor or god or praying that will save them. But until that happens...
Okay, Allfather Hat points out, what if, hear me out now, what if the guns in this game, instead of blowing things up, penetrated armor, added the weight of the shell to the ship it hits by melting into whatever it hits, so eventually ships sink because of accumulated weight?
Throw weight of a gun would be, even by World War II standards, 2,000 pounds at a time, so it would take a while.
You only lost like 900 people, and you lost none of your ships.
Correct.
0.
Yeah. So this is
incredible.
So that's day one of the battle. That's day one of the war. This is their opening salvo. Your battleship fleet is gone. Let's see what day 2 brings.
The 1890s were right. It worked.
All right. All right. They don't want to surrender yet, which is a mistake. It's okay. They don't know what they're asking for. And that's all right.
No, what if they just disengage the Germans entirely? Like, no, hold on a minute. I got something to take care of. And they just come back around.
They can do whatever they like. I'm just letting them know that this is how the war's gonna go. Oh, look, another meeting engagement. It's them trying to get in again with it's the rest of their battle fleet. It's the other one. It's the main battle fleet. All right. Let's destroy it, shall we? Let's destroy the whole battle fleet.
Under an hour, you've already destroyed France.
Don't
it's almost done.
Worry about it. Now, let's just all think about the fun things and implications this has in history. I'm going to say this. Don't Franz Ferdinand. And what else we got? Light cruisers, heavy cruisers. Let's put like with like. Okay. Okay. Heavy. Yeah. All right, there we go. I'm going to put those heavy cruisers. All right, there. This is my screen. This is my battle line. And we are at 23 knots. Putting that off. You guys are going to be in tight formation. This is a game that would actually do well with multiple battle commands and having multiple players, especially with individual ship control. That would be awesome, like something out of War Thunder. That would be really cool. All right, so I've got
this has been my favorite, ship anime. I think this has probably been the best war anime ever made.
I hate that you're saying that, and I hate that I know what that is. I've had enough people in the Aux explain to me what a war anime is as a concept, and I've had enough of them, guys and gals both, tell me that these people are consumers of this product, and I did not know that was a thing. So here's what we're gonna do: is I have this giant ring of angry boats that I'm told to just shoot as fast as possible at everything I see, and all they have to do is keep formation with the 2 slower boats in the center, which I'm going to use to then act like a giant hockey team. See how they're all nice and formed up, and we're gonna bowl toward the enemy and shoot their legs out. It'll be great.
Hamster of Rest says Franz Ferdinand and find out. Operation Boot, the snoot is a go. Are the numbers in this realistic? The British have the same number of ships as the next 2 largest fleets combined.
Well, they have a pretty sizable budget to start with, and they have an enormous fleet. However, if you are ballsy enough, you can certainly decide to contest rule of the seas from Britannia all day long. So far, I've found their battleships, and I'm going to go kill them. And
you have to.
Anything else? Well, battleships have a lot of people on board, and it helps to end a war quickly, to make all of their big ships fall down. It looks like their battleships are trying to get away.
They sink. They don't even know what class it is. They just know it's sank. They're like,
we haven't classified a lot of our targets yet because of the speed at which we are engaging.
Your
So
guys almost ran into each other, but because you guys are such great fucking ship pilots, it's impossible. You guys are just amazing. Some great fucking flying out there. Or sailing, I should say.
we're just gonna. Oh, there's a full spread of torpedoes. Now this ship may be burning down. It took some bad hits, but that's fine. I thought that said Miskatonic for a second. I was like, oh, that's not a good ship to send to the bottom. That would make it worse considerably.
Just imagine some guy from Florida driving around in a speedboat with wraparound shades, firing his 1911. Like, get out of here!
God. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. We're just gonna keep shooting.
I
Oh,
love
there.
it when you randomly sink a ship you haven't even seen yet, shooting at a different ship entirely.
Okay, my unfortunately my heavy cruisers have been seriously put out of action. So we now need to change the formation and battle line. So breaking up comp, I'm going to put the cruisers on heavier gunfire duties. All right, there we go. Ooh, there's a ship taking a bad hit. Yeah, there's a magazine burnout. Oof. Yeah, this is going to turn into a slugfest. They've got a lot more ships in this fleet. Let's sink them all.
Yeah.
I hear a fart.
Yeah, Captain Pantsuit Goblin does not fall.
Fair enough. All right, we're gonna just roll in and be hyper aggressive. I'm going to sink everything of their navy I can in one day.
Sinos, the Stormbound.
Sinos. It's like it's like someone with sinus thing. I am Sinos. Sinus? Sinos. Sinus? Shut up. All right, so it looks like their navy is not doing any better, and that the weight of intense gunfire has destroyed them. So I'm going to go ahead and increase our speed in the battle line. These two guys
Knife
are...
fight ocean? You mean a navy that doesn't have guns? Yeah.
Sure. Oh, wow. 5 subs to viewers.
Wow, Vox Darkstar, wow.
Well, thank you, Vox Darkstar. It is appreciated. I'm going to shell everything I can. I don't think their battleship should escape. I think we need to send them down next. Yeah. They're having a bad day. They might sink some of my heavy cruisers because those are still bowling forward and refusing to die. So we're gonna make them kill us if they must, but we are going to cause as much damage as possible. I wonder how many drops of blood are in this blood ocean. Yeah, it's you shouldn't have Jutland-sized engagements. If you want to know why, look at the sheer number of people involved. It's like 120,000 people. Risking that much for a single day of fighting is pretty crazy.
You know, in this timeline's history, there's going to be a history teacher sometime in like the 90s and 2000s who's going to be like, well, I'll tell you what, the most gangster group of people were definitely the Austro-Hungarians.
I always loved those history teachers who tried to, they were like, I'm going to keep it real with you guys. Genghis Khan killed a lot of people. He was pretty hard back in the day. And I'm like, yeah, that's how you excite people about understanding someone who they literally called the Scourge of God. Like I would have opened with that. They called him the Scourge of God. Like that is evocative. There are better ways, but yeah, I remember a lot of people definitely trying to tell that version of history. They were usually gym teachers that were also the historians, so they would always have like a motivational message, and it's pretty bad. Oh, and look, someone wrote alternate lyrics to the song In the Navy, Mike.
Yeah.
Look at that.
In the Navy, yes, you can burn the 7 seas in the Navy. You can put those boat at ease in the Navy. Come on now, people, make it stand in the Navy. In the Navy. Can't you see we're on fire? So no, seriously, help. Or
Speaking of, no, I'm helping. I'm helping. Oh no, one torpedo bumped the other. God damn it, torpedoes.
You hit the bowling alley.
No, I hate that. One was running fine and the other one went cattywampus and decided to convince his friend to fuck up. I hate that so much.
Yes.
I'm going to burn everything down. That's what we do. I mean, yeah, torpedoes are just out there trying to have fun.
Yeah.
Oh, God. All right.
Well, when one torpedo likes another torpedo, lots of explosions happen.
Frundsberg. All right, I'm starting to lose ships here because they do have an advantage and this is a bigger fleet, but I'm going to cause as much catastrophic damage as possible.
Isn't Frundsberg like Friend Town?
Probably.
Is that what that means?
I don't know. If an Austrian came up to me and is like, "Oh, this means Friend Town," I would be like, "Ha ha ha! Does it? You guys have a history, and fool me once,
Very
right?
friendly.
Yeah.
Friendliest people.
Yeah, I just go, you know what? Fool me once, guys. I'm keeping my eye on you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's a torpedo hit. Nice. So, their Navy's not having a great day. That ship's called the Devastation, and I'm thinking it's living up to its name. In that it is a devastation currently. The parts that are burning and the parts that are underwater are going to meet in the middle fairly quickly.
You already see a bunch of little boats just like trying to get away from it.
That won't help. I'm going to tell all my guys to shoot this guy, just set him on fire a little bit more. Let his people know that I really hate them. And then
they leave that ship to join your ships. They're like, "No, they kind of suck. I'm on your side now." They get on a gun and start helping.
Two of these. Oh, that's bad. That's the end of him. That's two right in the guts. Right in the gut locker. Oh. Yeah, there you go. Enjoy that.
Wow.
Okay, let's keep cruising in. They want to fight? Let's fight.
And 100 years from now, some deep sea explorer will find that and be like, "Holy fuck.
That was metal."
Austro-Hungarians weren't fucking around.
And these guys are serious. What do they have left? These guys, look at them. They're just like, my boat is a burned pizza. There's nothing left.
Imagine, like, finding... I would imagine the outer hull of these things looks just like warped metal that no longer resembles them.
It looks like the before of a Rust-Oleum commercial. You know, where they show, like, your patio furniture that's been exposed to, like, Venus. What is in those commercials where the...
Well, they're in Arizona, obviously.
Yeah, well... You'll have these commercials where they'll just go, "Oh, does your patio furniture look like this?" And it looks like they put it under a jet turbine for like 10 seconds. It's just ruined. And I'm like, no. I don't keep it on the sun. And they're like, "Don't worry, this Krylon will protect you." No, it won't. Man, their Navy's really sad. I can't believe they spent money on this.
Square says, "I still remember my English teacher in a high school reminding us that devastation has an A in it because the devastation is vast."
Ah.
Yeah, there's always something teachers do to help people remember how to do things. Like,
hey, look, this ship's name's Victor Hugo.
Oh, no.
Well,
and he's trying so hard to get away. Like, he is putting everything into those engines.
Well, it won't be enough.
No, no, it won't. And they know it.
Oh, man. This is where you cue the Benny Hill music, because the rest of my fleet's catching up, and though it's crap, it's fast. Yeah, he's like, "I'm going to leave," and I'm like, "No, you are not. Today is the last day that ship has a flag on it." I think the battleships did manage to escape. For now. I'm gonna chase him down. Alright, so he's leaving, and he's having a massive fire as he leaves. So I'm gonna let him actually leave, and I'm gonna break off the other direction, and I'm gonna engage his battleships. I'll let him leave. And let's adjust the battle line to loose and abreast. And that doesn't mean it's got its titties out. That means that they are spreading out from a long line to a wide line.
Ah.
So ideally, instead of turning...
Like breasts.
Yes. And instead of turning and turn, they're hopefully all going to start turning. And...
That's very lewd. It's a very lewd line that you're making.
I hate that people turn everything into porn. Some
Okay.
things should just be boats.
Some things should just be
Let me be a prude with my warships, please. Please.
Yeah. The one thing that's been saved.
It has not.
Hit them with
Nope.
yeah,
I've already had people send me anime of it. Be like, hey, have you seen?
Hit them
I'm
with
like,
a lewder line than Paris.
ugh. I mean, look.
Yeah, Cookie Mama makes a good point. It is the Navy. You kind of have no choice.
I know.
This
This
is kind of
I know.
thing that you get.
I know, Cookie Mama. Thank you. I know. Some things must be sacred. Okay, it looks like their Navy left, which is fair. I can understand. Losing 18 ships to 2. Now, I took a lot more of a bludgeoning manpower-wise for that, but they're having a bad day. So let's go ahead and, yeah. Excellent.
Oh my God. France is not happy about this outcome.
I wouldn't be. Losing a bunch of ships to a third-rate navy is pretty embarrassing. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all my navy into a giant bonk fist, and then I'm going to challenge their navy to exist inside of it as I continue to stop all of their fleet operations from hitting the Mediterranean, and I'm going to do whatever I want in the meantime. I'm inviting them.
You're not allowed to have a time machine.
I would be shot anyways for a time machine. I barely deal with the fact that I am followed by so many NSFW artists. Like I'm uncomfortable with that as a concept. So like when it comes down to like, hey, if you had a time machine, I'm uncomfortable in now. I couldn't imagine being then. That's a new level of uncomfortable, man.
Yeah, you go back in time, take your piece of the pyramid, and you come back. It's like a tourism thing, you know?
I don't think you're allowed to just take stuff.
No.
Unless you're Britain.
Who says? Who the time police are going to show up? What are
No,
they going to go,
I'm just saying
hey,
unless...
I'm going to have to give you a fine for that one.
I'm just
you
saying...
can't take the pyramid.
I'm assuming if there's time police. Just if there are cars, there are car police, are there not?
That's true.
There's even sky police.
Temporal police department.
Yeah, you'd be like, oh, I'm going to fuck with Hitler. And then they'd be like, you can't do that. And you'd be like, damn it. I had so many ideas.
Yeah, you're like, oh, so you, yeah, he would say something like, oh, yeah, you fight for Nazis. And he just goes, I'm not from that timeline, asshole.
Yeah, he's like,
books him.
Yeah, it's like, that's what they all say. I'm going to put...
Yeah, most time police aren't even from your timeline. They're just doing their job, man. They're like, yeah, in our timeline, that didn't happen, so I don't really care.
Yeah, they're like, I don't even know what that means. This guy's mad about some German painter.
Yeah, exactly.
This guy wanted to fuck everything up over that. Book 'em, boys. All right, let's see how fast we can get this bitch going. No, damn, I'm still limited by my technology.
Yeah, the cop as you're in the back seat of the time police car, he just goes like, well, in our timeline, we didn't shoot a gorilla, so think about that one.
He's like, we didn't lose our shit over a gorilla. And you're like, that's not what this is all about. And you're like, blah, blah, blah. Why do they call it the Harambe timeline then? And you're like, Jesus, really? You'd feel so awful. By the way, one of their battleships tried to sneak into the Mediterranean, and now I'm going to sneak it. I'm going to go sneak it all the way to heaven. Here we go.
Oh, my God.
Uh-oh. It's time for hunting. Where is he? Northwest? All right. I'm in danger.
Come out of the time machine with your appendages in an upright position. This fall on WBPL 76.
Deputy and Tuchar, time police.
Time police.
There he is. Look at him.
He's so far away.
He won't be. All right,
Dude,
so
he's like a mile away.
yeah, almost damn near, Mike. Good eye.
Well, I can see the kilometer thing. I know. I could kind of, in my head, do the math for that. I'm not that dumb with math.
I'm not
I
saying
can
you
do
are.
algebra. I
not
think that counts for something.
Mike, you're a film guy. You should know how far distance stuff is. You know how to do that in your head.
I know.
It's like
I
range
had to
finding.
learn. I had to do math.
Oh, he's sinking. He already had a fire. I didn't even touch him that hard. Fuck you, black powder. I lost 7 dudes to 919. Oh, and he wants to fucking surrender. Thank you.
Wow. They're desperate.
I said
Should
I'd
we accept?
I said I'd entertain it. However, I'm going to still I'm still going to blockade Marseille. I'm sorry, but
Peace treaty, but
oh, a peace treaty. Well, I guess I'll have to take Corsica and Tunisia from them. Good. Now they're my ports. Excellent.
more taxpayers.
Excellent. Since there's a peace treaty, which I guess there is, I guess I better move my navy back to port.
Hey, you're gonna have a great dinner with the king. It's gonna be amazing.
Dude, I got Corsica. I got Napoleon's house, so I think that's pretty fucking rad.
You're gonna have some paintings of you.
Dude.
That's what's gonna happen. You're gonna show up in a museum like 100 years from now, and they're gonna be like, "Yeah, that was the guy who sank all. He did Jutland 1890," and they have to answer, "What does that even mean?" Because Jutland didn't happen now.
I got Corsica and Tunisia. I mean, I think that's pretty good. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Like,
In 1 hour and 10 minutes, you completely collapsed the French Navy with Austro-Hungarians. It's quite good.
well, I mean, they can do whatever they want. I'm not trying to say they can't run their empire that way, but I wouldn't. And it's just one of those things.
Time for a refit?
No, actually, it isn't, because we're going to get into bigger, faster ships. We are very close to steam turbines and multiple expansion steam engines and more complex gearing for them, which means I can generate a lot more power underway, which means I can start getting into stuff like 24, 26 knot ships, and it's great. Oh, pay the Italian Empire something, I guess? Whatever. I'll take them out next. They picked this fight, and they can enjoy it. However, I need to build my shipyards bigger. And I'm also going to need to figure out how to support my navy outside of wartime. I hope the Italian Navy seriously decides to slap me. I really do. I want them to fight me.
You need a place to park your ships, so yeah.
Yeah, I do. And I just don't know why they don't appreciate that about me. But I will make them appreciate me. That's just how this is going to be. So let's get into armor forging and hull construction. And we're just going to make these things lighter and cheaper. And I'm going to get rid of some of the older fleet. The Brahms-A does well. There we go. I'm going to tailor some of the older fleet out just for maintenance cost alone. 59 ships, good enough. And then we're going to get into our finances here. And I'm going to make training almost 0 for a bit. Don't worry, because we have a huge navy, and we're going to build up a new design. We need to build a fast, modernized-ish whatever, and this is going to be it. And we're going to get into the most expensive, fastest fucking engines we can. And we're going to make this thing a demon of the seas. That is the entire purpose of this vessel. To be
That's
dangerous.
okay, though.
Oh yeah.
I think that makes this vessel just as good as the last one, if not better.
It's just going to be a little faster each time, and I'm going to try to get as many torpedoes into the enemy as possible. And it's going to be just very fast ships, very nasty speed. And can I get a 7-inch gun in the middle? Yeah, I can. Fuck yeah. No, that one. Well.
So how do you balance your ships out? Like when you're building ships, what is your thought process for that?
Typically, what can I get away with? Mainly because the game doesn't seem to like a lot of ideas ahead of their time. So when I get into designing any vessel, my standard strategy has been thus far, does this seem funny? And if the answer is yes, then by God, I'm going to do it.
That's the fun of this game, honestly.
Let's see if we can do 25. We can do 25 fucking knots. This is scary. Let us proceed. Let's do boats. Let's do boom. Boom. 2 big smokestacks. Good. Centerline guns. Let's go with an 8-inch battery, because that is crowd pleasing. All right, let's do 22 knots. 22 knots, not bad. All right, let's get then into armor protection. Put actual barbettes, so fire stay outside. Fire outside, good. Let's get into ballastite. Picric acid, my favorite of favorites. And we're just going to use nose fuse because I want these to burst as soon as they touch stuff. And we're just going to carry so much ammo that as soon as somebody touches one of these ships, I don't have to worry about repairs anymore.
Yeah. Well, that's because these ships are typically made with the finest materials from Austro-Hungarian lands.
Yeah, Austro-Hungarian lands. The Austro-Hungarian theme park.
Yeah.
Kaiservolt. All right. This is going to be like a pirate ship. All these are little 2-inch guns, just shitloads of them. Why not?
Hey,
Fun for the whole family.
Increases the survival rate of your crew if they don't have to worry about getting shot while on the deck.
Sure. That'll increase the survival rate. Did you hear the word picric acid used?
That's not a word that I know in my head, so no, it's not real.
That's fair. It will be real for them. So yeah, we put a giant belt on this thing. So yeah, we're gonna call
that
this
citadel
one.
armor's way too low. You need to make that at least 20 inches.
I wish I could. What is the name of this vessel? This fine vessel. What is this?
Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna go with chat on this one. Well, what do you guys got?
In 25 knots, surely the human lungs would not function at such a speed. Mind you, this is an era where they believed that people seeing PTSD from rail accidents that were repeated, common, and grisly. They called it rail spine. They thought the repeated impact of going over rail caused that. They were like, hysterics caused by rail spine.
Oh, that's perfect.
Oh, blast hard cheese. Good choice.
Blast hard cheese, yeah.
There we go.
That's basically what we had last night. It was very good cheese too.
And it caused blast. All right, so let's go ahead and create, I'd say 30 of these ought to be enough. The blast hard cheese class. Now, I'm going to have to do some horrible budget fuckery in order to stay solvent. Looks like Britain and Germany went to war. And that's just what they decided to do. I've also unlocked the ability to build dreadnoughts early, which is neat.
Don't worry, Super Chiefs, we are drinking.
That'll be neat. And yeah, hydrate.
We have plenty of water.
I will need. I've been sipping water this whole time. All right.
I got my water here. I'm actually gonna go make some tea here in a bit.
Oh, cool.
I got some stuff I want to work on later tonight.
The Germans called me into an alliance, but I don't have to fight in their war. That's kind of good.
Loading, building new ships.
All right, now we're going to fight the Brits. The biggest navy in the world. They have 150 ships. Holy shit. All right, so we need to fight the Royal Navy. Step 1. Let's set off Ireland and dare them to fight us. Let's see what happens. Let's go sit in the old U-boat box that I liked and just do that. And if they decide that this is not worth fighting, Then I will proceed to go raid Belfast, Dublin, and Scapa Flow, which is their main base. And I knew it that is going to be a nasty possibility. But hey, fuck it. We gotta be outside the box here, and I think antagonizing the Royal Navy is a good step one.
Hey, you took down the pre-champs. Now you got to go after the world champs. That's how it works, man. That's how it works in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, man. You got to take down all those colorful cast of characters before you fight the man himself.
Oh man, the French just tagged in, and the Germans just tagged in.
Oh, versus who? You?
Yeah. Well, guess what, France? I told you I would get the belt.
Wait, so they saw you guys as the aggressors, and they said, you know what? Let's make the world war against you. And you're like, wait, what? No.
No, please. I will send a flotilla to burn Nice to the ground. They have decided this is the engagement they wish. I will let them have it.
I can't believe that you're actually solving all of the world wars by being the bad guy yourself. See how it works?
Okay, first of all, France is trying to stop me from invading Ireland, which is wrong because I'm not trying to invade Ireland. But they decided to have a fight in the open water.
You don't have to invade Ireland. They'll just have the docks open for you. They're like, yeah, come over here. We don't want these guys here anyway.
Yeah, well, I need to destroy much of this squadron as quick as possible. Because I need to bounce them out of the war as quickly as possible, or cause such massive losses of equipment that they are bottled up for the next 12, 13 months in repairs. And if I can do that on day one of the war, I can then go hard against the British. And believe me, I know where their weakness lies. So they have 150 ships. My allies seem to have 0. And I'm just gonna have to be extremely mean. So let's fight everybody. That's what this is about. Let's have fun. You will fear the Habsburgs. All right, let's see. All right, and hello, Locust Labs.
Welcome.
All right, there's their battle fleet. Kaiser Franz Josef. Here we go. Let's do this.
Wow, Night Owl gave that. Awesome. Thanks for the sub, man. That's awesome.
Thank you, Night Owl. It is appreciated. Oh, it appears the torpedo boats are having a case of explodo. Not very useful. Exploding as a torpedo boat. This is going to be a pretty rough engagement any which way we cut it, but I must cripple their navy in one decisive move for this to work. Otherwise, I'm going to have a very long war. Ah, yes, the torpedo boats seem to have some trouble today. I think the rest of their fleet is doing figure eights out there in the smunk at about 10 miles. And their cruiser squadron's coming in from the left, or out of the northeast, and they're trying to present, and they're transiting from north to south. So, I need to get ahead of this task force, or intercede between the two halves, which is being presented here in the middle, which may be a feint or a trap. To quote a famous sailor, damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead. I'm just hoping the rest of the formation catches up.
Who said that?
That's the Battle of Mobile Bay, if you want to look that up. Civil War.
Oh.
All right, so we got battleship, battleship, battleship. I don't see the rest of the flotilla. I have to assume they're on the far side. I'm seeing no gunfire from any other quadrants, so it's definitely presenting. I've got guys on the port and guys on the bow. So I'm going to choose an angle in between and try to nail one of these guys and hope they roll over. The rest of the cruisers are coming in on formation as needed. Good, good, good. We've already broken their formation up. The question is, how is this guy going to last? He's already taken bad hits. Yeah, sacrificial cruiser right in the middle, but I don't see the rest of the fleet comp. So if he's going to die, let's die well. Today's a good day to die, boys. Let's take a battleship with us. The rest of the cruiser squadron's coming in. He's losing power. Shit. All right. Come on, cruiser squadron. Smonk. Everyone deployed their smonk. Good. All right. Now, we have an interesting gunfight here. Because the battleships...
Yeah, interesting is a good way to put it.
Well, it's point blank range. This is knife fight distance for a Navy. And this is probably the dumbest thing here. Okay.
It works, though. I mean, look.
The cruiser
surrendered.
surrendered.
It's a little smoky. It's a little smoky.
Well, the reason for the smoke is manifold. One, this is an era in which the primo go juice that you put into a ship is anthracite coal. That causes issues. The other is, if I need to actually make smoke on a naval vessel during this time period, I'm going to be injecting machine oil into the boilers to make smoke. So it's not like a ha-ha little smoke screen smoke. It's like the black smoke of hell smoke. It's horrific. It is bad
Just
stuff.
hear fire screaming, guns going off from every direction. The ship is just moving in a direction that you can't see.
You'd be lucky if you had lights in this time period that would operate while the ship was in combat conditions.
Oh man.
It would be a horrific series of conditions. You would be in the dark, it would be very loud. A lot of light bulbs in this time period, if you had them on board ship in the 1890s, one of the few places where you could actually generate power on demand in the 1890s very, very easily. Electric lamps were temporary. They broke all the time, and they are nowhere near as shatterproof as today. So often enough, you go into battle, you're unscrewing light bulbs and everything else. So it's dark, it's greasy, it's stained in coal dust and soot and blood, and it's horrifying. Naval gunfire from this time period and naval gunnery is just a series of how many human beings can I get to operate a gun breach as quickly as possible without dying. It is pretty nuts. I mean, you had more room than a World War I tank, but no better conditions. But you were allowed to drink. So I think that there are a combination of things that would make it serviceable. All right, we're coming in like Jackie Chan, just one at a time on the bad guys.
Dude, the best fights happen one at a time. Nobody wants to watch a fight a group of people. That's just called a mosh pit.
Imagine if they had four-way boxing, like just four-way. Like you have four guys, four corners, four people
Super
going
Smash
in.
Brothers, but for real.
Yeah, four-way boxing. I would watch that. Just four boxers. Just choose four boxers and put them against each other.
Yes,
I think that
I put a turtle, a fox, an elven knight, and a gummy in there, and they haven't really moved very far. The elven knight is requesting us to remove him from the ring. We have shot his legs off. Oh.
What? I'm confused.
No, I'm looking at your screen. Sorry.
No, it's quite all right. I'm just shelling the fuck out of these guys. And they're trying to leave.
I know, it just did like a weird data thing where all the blocks on the screen just like did that. I don't know, it's like an artifact where it just like freeze for a second, and then when you turned, the horizon stayed the same. So I was like, wait, what's going on?
Come with me and you'll see a world of OSHA violations. So I'm going to drive my boat forward as their battleships try to flee, because I told you, France. I told you what would happen if you built a navy. I told you to sit it out, old man. And guess what? Today's the day it happens. The day of the pillow is upon you. I don't care how many republics you have, or how many Napoleons you have. The bottom of the ocean is where you belong. And I will be the man who delivers that to you. We're just gonna keep going. And if they can't play this game, it's gonna be bad. Now the Brahms is going in. Holy shit, Mike! It's the actual Brahms.
Wait, what?
It survived the last war. It's in the front, Mike. It's survived the last front. It is throwing everything it has at the other guy. It's like a pirate ship, just constantly shooting. Go Brahms!
It's going as, I mean, if you ever want to see a Hungarian dance, that is one right there that you don't want to miss.
Oh, they're trying to straddle it. It is not getting good. All right, I'm putting Smonk up. We're gonna make a torpedo run. Yeah.
We have the circus version of that song playing as we're going in the.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You have to have a music room that's in the Citadel with an enormous horn that comes out on deck so you can play your music down there.
I must, unfortunately, I must go make tea and prepare for my game. I have asked for a new co-host, and you shall receive one. I do not know who it will be. It will be a surprise for you.
All right, that's fine. And by the way, burned it down. That's one battleship down.
The Brahms don't fuck around.
Brahms has burned it to the waterline.
So, yeah, Johannes Brahms is like, say my fucking name as he shoots. That was my favorite song he ever made. Say my fucking name. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna step off. You guys enjoy, and I don't know who your co-host is gonna be.
All right, don't worry. I will be alive.
Good luck.
Go Brahms. Go Brahms. This thing is rough. I mean, it's just shots bouncing off of it. Their battleships are running for their lives. Yeah, that cruiser that surrendered earlier. Boy, I bet he's having a handful. He's gonna be like, uh-oh. Why? Why did I surrender? Brahms wishes more violence. It's the secret ingredient. You may burn me, says the Brahms, but I will burn you. Imagine the naval warfare book on this guy, whoever came up with this doctrine. It's like, I thought, what if we just burned everything? Okay, it looks like the Brahms took a hit bad enough to go out of formation, but it is not disabled completely, and it's continuing to throw shells. It will rejoin formation. We're running them down. This is pretty brutal. Okay, the other part of their fleet is starting to show up and trying to make a insert into the line. It is not working. They are massively out of position. Those guys should have been running the picket, and they are not. The weight of fire from the battleships, though, is starting to hurt pretty bad. Alright, so, as Sun Tzu said, if you can stab them in the eyes with a fork, they can't do strategy stuff. And I think that that's pretty accurate. This is the equivalent of stabbing them in the eyes. Picric acid is the chemical with which you do that. So I'm just going to lay Smonk. There's the Brahms. The Brahms is actually going to pick a fight further back in formation. Go Brahms. Alright, we are approaching torpedo range. However, the weight of fire may disable the ship before we actually need to shoot it. I'm pretty sure Sun Tzu said that. Pretty sure. Source, internet. Trust me. Thank you, chat, for being nice, though. I appreciate it. It's nice to not get overwhelmed by a bunch of people running by real fast. And I hope you guys like the next video we're making. It's about whale guns and friendship. Yeah, that's probably the title I'm going to use. Important stuff. Well, looks like I'm about to have a drive-by. Let's just go ahead and have some smunk there. And... oh, ocean bottom. All right, let's go find this guy. He's turning. This guy, he's trying to leave a different way. He's trying to join up with his cruiser pals. No, you're not. Not today. He almost made it. He almost made it. Almost. But not quite. Oh, he's gonna bonk his friend. Hey, stop doing that. This is a ramming correction technique. We invented it. It's called quit boxing the compass, you son of a bitch. You guys like, my ship was on fire and full of water. And I'm like, shut up. Be like the Budapest. Burn down a little bit and then put yourself out and use the other 2 smunk stacks and go forward. And I have a new person who joined me. Hello.
Hello, Tex.
It is Bulk.
Yes.
This is a little different from farming naval gunfire. However, they use...
You're farming...
Well, they use some of the same chemicals.
Yes, potash. Mainly.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Energetic stuff. So let's see. They've got their cruisers trying to stop me from chasing down and burning this giant sausage that is the magenta. Which... no. I think it's time for us to just burn him down. I think that's what we need to do.
Yeah.
We need to cut him off and burn him down. And we just need to remind people that if you don't get good at the shipbuilding industry, you always have time to get good at the casket making industry. Which I believe they're going to thank me for. But despite them occasionally landing a good shot, looks like all of their reinforcements are having a good time burning right now. They have 1 battleship left of the originals who decided to come contend. And I think we just need to kill that guy next.
Are you gaining on him? It's not looking too good.
Oh, I'm gaining on him. He's been throwing his rudder around. He can do 18 knots sustained. I just keep having to break ships out of formation. So, for example, he's taken on enough water and in enough machinery spaces to be of less than capable maneuvering. Because making your ship several thousand tons heavier is bad for the handling characteristics, especially when it's compromising machinery like the reduction gear, the power plant, everything else. So the ships that have not taken Citadel hits or otherwise disabling blows are the ones that then have to form up into formation. You have ships tag in and out of formation as you go. It's kind of like a conga line of death.
Yeah.
Hello, Mr. Tom. How are you doing? Well said, Mr. Tom. Well said. You don't say.
Great to have his wonderful intellect on the channel with us.
I know. He was telling me the other day, just yelling the whole time, I'm Tom Tomville of the Black Pants Legion. And he let me know that. This guy is trying to turn inside. You're not going to get away. Not today.
This...
Yeah, there's Tom.
There he is.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, I'm having mic issues real quick.
It's okay. I have mic issues for about 11 years, and now look at where we are. All right, so this guy's battleship is named Magenta, and I think that's stupid. And while he does have a lot of guns, mine are better and full of picric acid, which is good for me.
Picric acid.
On the incendiary side of things, it's pretty nasty.
Yes.
And I carry overwhelmingly that as my filler, which means that largely I don't even have to get close to ships to destroy them. I just have to set them on fire, as though an apparatus was designed principally for that express purpose. It's just like microwaving a baked potato. You don't need to penetrate or even hit the vital parts of a ship if it's all on fire, because hot metal is like butter. See, look at this guy acting all tough with his ship that is just a smokehouse, and I'm just going to turn right very gently with my boat. And there's Tortabos. Oh, and he missed, because that ship is moving, and my guy hasn't learned how to hit moving targets today.
Okay, it is I, Tom Tombadil of the Black Pants Legion.
Well, hello, Tom Tombadil of the Black Pants Legion.
I've come here to commentate. Color commentate.
Color commentate upon the state of the Navy. Excellent. The game is wanting me to end the battle, as it is assumed that my Navy is without power and incapable. No. Now I will end the battle, considering they have nobody left, and they are all going to be scraped out of hell shortly. So let's see. It seems pretty good. Yeah, I'll take that. That seems like a pretty good outcome.
The guy just called me Wide Tom Large Pants.
Wide Tom Large Pants. And?
I don't know how to feel.
Well, I would say that to cringe is based, as they say. I don't know. I don't know what is the answer, other than I must now destroy the French fleet that's trying to hide in a British harbor, because that's hilarious.
This is something I can get behind.
I feel wide. I feel based.
Very based, Tom. Thank you. Oh, Königsberg class. That's neat. Anyways, I'm just going to blow up everything. I'm going to tell my boats to get into a murder bowl, which is what you do. And I'm going to use the word abreast. Tom, no giggling, please. Well, that wasn't achieved. Let's see. East. The enemy is east, and I'm in the west, so we are going to turn right.
Loose breast?
Yes.
What?
Loose abreast. That is... Tom, this is very serious when we talk about naval terms. Don't even make me say dinghy. I see. This is the difficulty of having intellectual conversation in the Black Pants Legion. Every time I mention duty, Tom starts giggling.
Oh my.
So what we need to do next is find some people, and if those ships collide, yeah. Oh yeah.
That guy said poop deck.
He did say poop deck. Yes. That is a type of deck on which you shit, of course. Here's their navy. All right. Let's sink all the transports so they have to eat their babies. As we know, they are heavily dependent on baguettes. If we destroy all the baguette-carrying ships, the bread will be wet, and we have defeated them.
They will riot, we will win.
Well, they're trying to escort this convoy of stuff out of England, and I'm like, no. Canceled. Navy here.
I find it amusing that France is in such dire straits they would accept food from the English of all people.
I know. What's for dinner? That. That was good timing. First thing I hear is, let's make them eat babies. Everything's normal. Yes, that's our normal strategy. Oh, here we go. Yeah, they're gonna have to play a game called How Many Torpedoes Do I Want? Up, he missed one, because it didn't go off. You clever girl. All right. Man, their whole navy is made out of crap. What kind of aid do you think the English would send over, food-wise? Do you think it would just be like a bunch of pies? Do you think like a ship comes over and it's like Chippy and he's just got like racks and racks of pies?
Mushy peas.
No, don't say that.
Bangers and mash.
Pie and eels. Eels and mash. Pie, eel, and mash. I saw that documentary and I was like, fuck. Why do they eat like the Germans are still bombing them? Did you ever see the gif of the people feeding the eels a pizza?
I think I have.
Yeah, someone just was like, you know what these eels need is a pizza, and they just whip them in there, and they just, I'm like, good lord.
I remember that being a really good video.
Was that a electric eel?
I doubt they would feed an
Or
electric
was
eel a
it-
pizza. I mean,
Yeah,
God.
well, I mean, bad ideas are very popular on YouTube.
No, it was like a bunch of eels, and they all ate a pizza.
All right.
It was so wholesome.
I don't think that's wholesome. If I had the ability to throw a pizza into a nearby waterway and it would disappear instantly because of the writhing mass of eels in that waterway, I would be contacting the authorities on the legality of dynamite. I'd be like, something is wrong. They have taken over. We need to be prepared. Why do
I'm
they?
just so hungry.
Why? Why are there so many eels, Tom? I have an eeling. It's a bad time. I made a joke. Thank you for coming to my text talk.
I hurt. Now what a laugh from it.
I did my best.
You have me a good conflict.
I've done my best. I would like people to enjoy a reasonable chuckle. I think that's reasonable.
Yeah.
Okay, so it looks like they're losing their whole navy again. They just keep doing this. It's like a bad rerun. Now, where's the rest of their transports? It seems like they just want to burn? I don't know. It's like they built their ships out of wicker. I asked my
Blitzo.
wicker navy. Yeah.
Wicker Navy. Instead of the Wicker Man.
Sir, our navy seems very hazardous. No, no, no. And then it just goes up in flames at port.
It's cost effective.
It's a very cost-effective navy.
Wave the bulkheads.
Weave the bulkheads.
Grandma's just building a ship. Oh, I'm gonna weave me a bulkhead.
Our ships take dozens of years to weave. Next you'll be mocking our thatch roof frigates. Just one errant spark. Alright, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to destroy the entirety of their navy again in day one, just to let them know, France, I'm very tired of this. Why would France continue to war against their friend in the Mediterranean, the sophisticated and pretty okay Austro-Hungarian Empire? We've invented so many pleasant things. Like having 80 languages in Parliament. And Habsburgs. Yeah. We've done our part.
Why?
Can I torp 2 at once? Can I torp 2 at... No, I cannot. I can hit 1, though. I can hit 1 twice.
That would have been beautiful.
It would have been beautiful. Unfortunately, life is seldom kind.
Yeah, Blitzo just can't do it all.
No.
Ramming speed.
I agree. Ramming speed. And we're just gonna continue to shell the shit out of their navy. I don't care if they sink my whole navy in the process. I need to destroy these transports. This will shorten the war considerably, and they're incredibly expensive to make. This guy just fired a torpedo off that may strike a friendly vessel, so this is very much like War Thunder. Oh no, it just blew up for no reason.
No, not our transport ship full of foie gras and stale bread.
Could you imagine if that's all it was? Like, the ship goes down and you see the bread crust float, and then all these ducks show up, and that becomes like a
And then all
problem.
these ducks float up too.
It just be-
These hilariously obese ducks.
Wah.
they go honk.
Wah.
They got the itis.
I'm going to charge into these transports because I've had enough, and we must destroy their foie gras and stale bread. As he says, we must send it to the bottom. Their navy cannot stop us and our rage. We must destroy the mustard.
That one's already sinking.
Yeah, high explosive shells into their mustard supplies have resulted in a number of fires.
Oh my.
Ah, the French.
Oh, the French. Champagne.
What was
We
it?
seem to have found the main fleet.
It seems to have made their lives very difficult, and I don't know why they presume to think that I'm not going to continue getting Daddy's belt out for this entire engagement, but yeah, I'm just going to keep sinking them, and that's what they get for a living. Oh, that's an ammunition explosion. I like that. Oh man, these guys are about to get 2 torpedoes. That's bad. Let's just continue burning everything.
Uh-oh. They're already sinking. They don't even need those 2 torpedoes.
Well,
Well,
they
they-
can have them as a treat.
They can keep the change. Ah, the French. Every one of these lost is another 10,000 gallons of perfume we don't have to smell at the makeup counter.
Oh, you're truly doing God's work.
Jordache, more like shells. Alright, so all we gotta do is blow all this stuff up. And then, yeah, wait for him to cry.
Yeah, so there are absolutely nothing aside from these. Oh nope. I was thinking they were all merchant ships.
Oh no, there's a few combat ships in here. I'm just concentrating my firepower upon the merchants now that I've found them, because this is commerce raiding.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I don't care about the perfume economy. What I care about is how pretty the fish will smell.
I don't believe in the flower collar. It's all about the green color.
Have you not
here.
heard of the fragrant bass of the ocean?
Bass. Ew. Ew. No like.
So their navy's trying to catch my navy. The rest of their navy is showing up, which is not helping them at all. We're going to concentrate on hitting their transports, who are trying to... Oh no, the fire. We're running out of boats too, but this is pretty great, because the fire on a boat is pretty bad. Aboard ship fires are fairly catastrophic. On the oopsie doodle board of things that can claim a vessel, fire aboard is pretty bad. It turns out being in like a metal oven surrounded by explosive things is not good to a fire. And for a long time, they used to insulate against stuff with fire, with stuff like asbestos. So, yeah. Now, let's see. They have a handful of ships left, and that's fine. I'm just going to do what I can to just knock the rest of them out and sink these transports.
Listen, asbestos is good stuff until it gets flaky.
Mesothelioma.
Yeah, don't
Then-
you don't want to disturb it. If you
Yeah,
disturb
you
it, you're
don't-
gonna have a bad time.
When it starts looking like flaking up like a croissant, it's bad.
That means it's just very bad. That's when things get very, very bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just continue to bully these guys for having a navy, which was their first mistake. And second mistake was putting it to sea. And the third mistake is putting it in front of my navy, which is just, I've ordered them again to just burn everything.
Yeah, you're not wrong there, esoteric stratagem. Transports take the equivalent of harsh words to sink them.
Typically, yeah. They're not traditionally armored or made for damage control. They're traditionally made to be cheap.
Mm-hmm. Cost-effective stuff.
Austerity measures. So we're going to shell these people and burn them down. We're going to have some picric acid. Yes, I think.
Deputy Leon.
Depuis de Lyon.
Yeah, it's DP Leon. I read slow and I'm not good at the French.
Yeah, I don't speak French well either. I'm just going to shell them. And we're just going to keep blowing them up. One at a time. Goodbye, French Navy. Good day. Good day, I says. Then I'll have to go blow up the Royal Navy. Ah, God, that startled me. Jesus. Yeah, the game is a bastard in many ways. Designing good ships and good fleet doctrine is hard, and if you don't lay your fleets out well, I've seen where people actually build an effective fleet doctrine, 4 or 5 different ship classes, and then they forget to build them in the right proportions, and then they have one battle, and then nothing works. It's quite unpleasant.
Swanhammer, thank you for the bits, good sir.
Appreciated. I'm going to shell the Kleba, and he's trying to leave, but that's not going to work. Oh, and then there's the rest of the transports. Excellent. Yes, that's what they get for having a navy. The day of the soggy bread is upon us. Oof.
Bad French noises.
He's having a bad day. What with the constant state of roaring fire on board. He's lost about 100 guys on board to fire, and it appears that everything else is just continuing to burn quite badly. So let's knock these transports out quickly.
Signal to him if he would like a break.
Oh, I'm about to give him a break. I'm going to give him a break of the ship driving through the middle of his ship here in a second. That's what the break is going to be. I'm going to have an unscheduled ship break for him, and I'm going to schedule it with the bow of my vessel. I will show him the manner of driving a vessel. Lena, eh? Yeah, there goes his transports trying to leave. And this guy... Oh, well, he's had enough. Very well. My crippled fleet versus his very fancy cruiser. Oh, Klangenfurt has decided to release a torpedo at range. And...
Oh, it gonna hit.
Will it? Dud. No, it wasn't.
Aw.
It was like blong and then explode. Good job.
Oh, he's got a bit of a gangster lean on that. That's not good. That's
He's
not good at
holding
all.
side- Sideways.
No, that boat's having a float problem. Yeah, there he goes. All right. 22-2, not bad. Fuck you, France.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah, they want to surrender again. Okay.
Way to keep up the stereotype there, France.
Well, I'm going to destroy what's left of their navy in the Mediterranean just for existing. It seems a good protocol. The Brits are trying to enter the Med, which is not good for me.
Tell them no.
I'm going to do my best, Tom. I'm going to do my best
Yeah.
to tell them, in fact, no thank you. I'm going to put all my ships at the very front of the med, and I'm going to hope we can stop the Royal Navy from getting in. Because if we can't, oh God. All right, France surrendered. I'm just gonna make France pay for my war cost. All right, now it's us versus Germany, and I've had enough of their stuff. So let's see, ship design. Blast Hard Cheese was the last ship design I built. I'm gonna build another 30 of them. Just to put this to ease. It's gonna be 6 months for the first set, and yeah, there we go. We're building 60 ships. We're gonna replace a whole navy at once. Ah, the French Admiral got fired. Good.
You don't say.
It's almost like his name. Yeah, the Brits want to stay out of the Mediterranean. Yeah, they don't want to play. It's like they've given up. Come on. You're the Royal Navy. You're supposed to be so dangerous. Wow. Oh, look, there's their fleet. Excellent. What? One light cruiser? Boo. Come on, give me something. They got a whole fleet out here in the ocean. Let's just go off England again and see what happens. They seem to dislike that a lot. Let's just see what happens. Aha, I knew it. Let's force an engagement. Wow, that's a lot of naval money. Oh wow, it's one ship. Never mind, I'll just hit auto resolve. Yeah, that's not an engagement. Why don't they want to play? They seem very upset and just don't want to play a game. That is not nice. Oh well. Some of their ships look like they want to get into the Mediterranean, so I figure we might as well let them play a little bit. But alright. They still have an enormous empire, 122 ships. They still outnumber us. I'm not sure what the Krauts are up to. And here's a proper fight. Alright, let's fight the Channel Fleet. I'm going to get a beverage while this kicks off. So, Tom?
That one was 12,000 tons.
So?
Sink it.
I will. I'm going to get a beverage. I'll be right back. Tom, stay
Okay.
classy and watch chat. And you can talk to him. Yeah, let's go fight England. It's the biggest navy in the world. I think I can take them. I'll be back. Yeah.
Well, I do know how the Legion gets its food. It's supplied by me. Beans.
Yes, the vast majority of food substances is from, indeed, Mr. Tom and his beans.
So many beans.
So many beans. If it's not beans, though, it's normally side corn, which is good.
Now it's time to destroy the navy. Their mistake is trying to show up. I'm just going to use a giant ball as a formation. Ball.
They can't kill us all.
They can't.
Oh, no.
They can't kill us all if we use the ball. That's the motto of the Navy. Surely. All right, so I'm going to tell them to go generally east. I'm going to be like, of the directions you choose, generally east is among them.
The Area 51 doctrine.
Yeah. I remember when people were like, people might raid the base. And I'm like, no, like 12 people will show up. And then they will go to the little Ailey Inn and eat there and be like, ha, and then leave.
Didn't the CEO of Substack show up?
I don't know.
I mean, I knew there are a few people of note that did show up, and they're like, no, don't cross the line, guys.
They're like, hey, we're going to ask some questions about aliens. I'm like, all right. Like what? And they're like, my website.
Well, yeah, well, we got the posture check from 5 foot pole since we got
All
out
right.
in the streets.
Here's there. Posture check.
That's a good one.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen the latest reviews of Wide Tom's Bean House.
Oh dear. Well, it's known it's a pristine beanery. It makes the finest beans. Wide Tom stomps them all himself every morning. There's a lot of beans at Wide Tom's Bean House. And that's all I know about it.
Someone said they really enjoyed the petting zoo / burger bar.
I like that one.
I remember there was that place. If you ever want to see into the heart of darkness that is the general public, some people have said that you go to Walmart at like 2 or 3 in the morning, and I think that's a lie because we've all been the person at Walmart at 2 or 3 in the morning. I think we've all been that person. The one I'm talking about that I think is the better look into the human soul is a restaurant in America called Fuddruckers, which I always called Rudfuckers. But Fuddruckers is a place where you go in and they have the burger, and they will cook the burger and supply you with the bun however you want. However, beyond that point is a giant array of toppings on a bar, and you can make the burger however you want. And this is where the fun is. This is the petting zoo of performance art and madness. I watched a guy go up there with his pristine hamburger, and I was like, oh man, let's see what kind of guy this guy is. And he, he puts the cheese on there and some jalapenos and what have you. I'm like, good choices all around. And I watched the next person go up, and I'm like, wow, that guy put 2 pumps of mayo. He's still pumping. He's still going.
What?
He's going. I watched a guy put 12 pumps of mayo on a burger and eat it, and it all just slid out the sides. And the face he made as an adult, the face he made was like somebody getting hit with a taser, but pleasurable. Like it was a pleasurable pain. And I realized that Fuddruckers is really, really a good test for how weird some people are. I watched one guy patiently just put all the cheese on a burger, maybe a half pound, And I'm like, all right. Oh, what? Oh, watch. Oh, that's all the torps. Goodbye, Caledon. Oh,
Boink,
no.
boink.
Did they have fried eggs?
Ooh,
I think
Tom.
I'm not sure if they had fried eggs, but they should.
They should.
If I had a burger joint, it'd probably be like Mott's in Detroit, where it's like, look, I got one location, I make fucking burgers, and if you don't like it, get out. And I think that's how a burger place should be. I hate when they're like, this is my crazy blue ribbon burger. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. Is it good? And they're like, no one orders it.
Everyone always builds their own burger.
It's ideally how a burger should be. I think that is just, that's how a burger should be. A burger, I think if I asked chat, define your best burger, define what is the optimal burger, I think you'd find a few things that they agreed on, but most of them would not be things they agreed on. Most of their things, the peculiarities that make a burger perfect, are always going to set people aside. It's just when you watch someone with reckless, shall I say, enjoyment of their chosen vice, it's always next level. Ah, yes. Fuddruckers and the topping bar. There you go. See, some people hate red onion. I think red onion's nice. Tom, what's your ideal burger? Having been in many episodes of Space Station 13 as the flapping fat security officer addicted to pizza madness and many other things.
The pizza burger is the best burger.
I hate that you said that.
It's a burger. It's a burger with marinara sauce,
No,
mozzarella cheese,
no,
and pepperonis.
that sounds gross.
I don't actually.
mad that
I
you
actually
ate
like
me,
I actually
Tom.
like barbecue burgers. You know.
That's
Get some
reasonable. Barbecue sauce is fine. That's fine. That's reasonable. That is a reasonable like.
Cheddar, bacon. You know.
Simple. Simple as. Fine.
Yeah.
Those are fine choices. I just hate when people are like, I had peanut butter and herring, and I'm like, you can fuck right off.
Yeah, that's like a California burger.
No, that's like somebody who's had like severe like motorcycle accident aftermath, and they're like, for some reason I keep eating cigarette ash, and you're like, okay,
Maybe you should.
don't do it in front of me, please.
Well, I mean, not everybody can be Roseanne Barr after a car accident.
Uh-oh, here
I
we
mean,
go.
that's what it took for her to be funny.
Here we go. Torp.
Oh.
Blap. Oh, he got
no.
me. And that one was going squirrely. However, he's sinking now.
No.
Just what is burger sauce?
What is burger sauce?
Elaborate, Locust Labs. Tell us what this burger sauce is.
In our land of locust, it's like the locust people bring forward the burger sauce. I've seen a lot of people talk about Hawaiian burgers where, you know, like slice of grilled pineapple or whatever. I guess I could see that, but I hate sweet pickles, so pass.
Yeah, I don't really like sweet pickles either.
I don't think
like
anyone
regular
does.
pickles more.
And I'm not saying that just to be with the crowd. Yeah, no. Sweet pickles, no, not even like bread and butter pickles, really. I like my dill.
Okay, look at this guy. He's sitting there with his battleship called Formidable, which is currently on fire. And I'm gonna introduce it to some torpedoes, and I'm gonna make him learn a new trick called roll over. I don't much care for this navy of his. I want to make it go away. Pineapple and chorizo, I could see that. Uh-oh, it's time for torpedo.
I thought it was chorizo.
Chorizo, however you want to say. I'm no habla español very good.
I've never actually heard it pronounced chorizo before.
Well, Tom, some parts of the country say whipping shitties, and other parts of the country say...
They flipping kitties.
Oh, hold on.
Ramming speed!
Yep, there we go.
Let me just turn this around for you. Ah, there you go.
Yeah, he's having, as they say, a progressive flooding event, gentlemen.
Not so formidable.
The Formidable 2.
Yes, the Unsinkable 7, as you know. One of the most dangerous boats we have.
Don't let the cat on.
Oh yes, they're having some problems with the Formidable. It appears to be stationary. It also appears to have sent a lot of its crew to the bottom.
We seem to have a matter expert in chat.
Oh.
Der Burger. What is your thoughts on the ideal burger, sir?
That's a good one. I'm gonna just circle this guy and shoot torpedoes at him until he's dead. It'll be very funny. Because the game thinks I can't take it out with these little BB guns, but I think I can because fire works real good. There you go. Have some of that. Well, welcome to a SyncX exercise, fucko. See, that's
The
done.
German burger guy said that highest quality American cheese belongs on burgers.
0 versus 16. Well done, us.
Considering we shortened a nose on one ship, that it's impressive.
Yeah, and now their navy is not doing so well.
It'll buff out.
It'll buff out. It will.
Yep.
and I'm going to try to catch some of his naval squadrons as they pull around, and I'm going to just keep cutting them off. And there we go. Moving what's left of that battle fleet up there, and then just going to keep rotating battle fleets. But the Royal Navy just shrunk over 100 ships, and I'm going to continue applying that as my idea here. And I have to upgrade my shipyard considerably before I start moving into Dreadnoughts.
That guy just used 750 goop to say that the ideal burger is a triple burger.
I think that person
Yeah.
is dedicated to that.
Yes.
I don't know how much longer I have on this stream. Normally, Deputy watches those things.
What's your cutoff time?
I have no idea.
I have no idea what picric acid is, so sure, put it on a burger.
I wouldn't.
Very spicy burger.
I would say that no smoking, and the toxicity would finish what the fire didn't.
That guy is actually right. The big burgers should be wider, not taller.
I don't, making a wider burger is harder though, because standardized cost of buns and stuff. If you make a really big wide burger,
Yeah, I like Burger King for that reason, though. They have wide burgers. They're nice and wide.
Spangles.
Spangles.
Yeah, you guys don't
Spangles.
get those.
What
You
is
guys don't get
Spangles?
Spangles.
What is
What is
Spangles?
Spangles is much like much like Sonic, but they haven't had the length of existing as Sonic has, so they haven't had the time to perfect American chain food business.
They have a corn dog burger?
That
No, but they do have
sounds-
corn dogs.
Well, I mean, corn dogs are, you have to.
They don't do they don't have like a corn dog day where the corn dog's $4 instead of 8. Or
$8 corn dog?
What's
I don't
it made
know
out
what
of?
Sonic charges for a corn dog anymore.
Why would Sonic
$1.
Yeah, I think Sonic corn dogs are so cheap you could get them as change. Like they'd be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I can't break a 20. Will you take 15 corn dogs?"
Yes, I would.
Yeah,
I
you
love
got about
corn
another
dogs.
30-ish minutes, Tex.
All right, I have enough to break the will of the British Empire then.
Get back. I had a shitty burger 4 hours ago, and I'm going in again because all this burger talk.
The burger.
Give
No,
me the burger. Give the burger to me.
They have 3
Spangles
battleships.
just uses high fat meat for their burgers.
Ideally, you want high-fat meat for your burger.
Yep. So I mean, your bun's gonna get soggy, but it's tasty.
Ideally, you want a high-fat burger, though,
Yeah,
because
Mhm.
Cheapest shit.
that's the idea of it. It's I'm using the crap meat to make something slightly fancier with it. It's not about. I know people are like, oh, I only use the perfect bestest cut of blah, and it's like it's a hamburger. It's gonna sit next to dollar ingredients. Yeah, lean burger's
Why are
a
you
sad
using the
burger.
Wagyu beef, you dirty bastard?
I'm going to take my $60 hamburger and top it with 8 cents worth of mustard. and
Exactly.
20 cents
Like-
worth of
And a little
lettuce.
bit of gold leafing.
I understand if you want to be fancy and you're like, I'm going to make the best burger I can. So you get the best quality beef. You get the best kind of cheese. But a $60 hamburger, come on. That's a bit dumb. I think that's just against the principle. I mean, it'd be like an expensive slice of pizza. It'd be like, oh, this pizza's $7 a slice. I'd be like, no, thank you.
Must be in California.
Danger Marauder, thank you for the 3rd month in a row of your subscription.
Thank you.
3 whole bubs.
3 months of our
3 whole
madness.
bubs.
Yeah. Hey, we
Now
had
he's got the nicer pants.
we had people who said this wouldn't last a week, and now look at us. We're all miserable for much longer than a week. Good job. I'm just joking.
Hmm.
Now I'm going to shoot torpedoes at this other battleship because the Battle of Agincourt requires me to sink it.
Yeah.
That torpedo's got a case of stupid. He's got some Wii remote brain damage. He just decided to turn left for no reason.
Do 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 do.
And then just blew up. Stupid torpedo.
Why don't you just strap a person onto it?
Oh, I'm about to make the ship a torpedo. Oh, he already decided to burn. Damn.
All right, cool.
Save me ammo, why don't you? Alright, St. Vincent. Let's go ahead and punch your face off. See if you like
That was
picric
going real
acid as
far.
well.
Hamster of Wrath, that's called a Kenworth.
Sounds kind of like picnic acid. I like picnics.
We should put
I
it
like
in there
acid.
then. That's how they sell it to the Navy. What does this have to do with picnics? Nothing. Would you like a picnic, sir? And he's like, yes, yes. And whatever on the acid, well, whatever. Harumph. Uh-oh.
Rough.
Oh dear. He got hit with multiple torpedoes.
Is he ramming you?
No, he's not.
Oh,
He is not ramming our vessels.
I
He's
ran out of the forward go.
Yeah, that ship ran out of go fast. It instead it had some slowdown. However, this last he has decided to give up. Excellent. So 0 versus 3. There's 3 other battleships gone. You don't need battleships. All you need to do is burn stuff. Praising Zorg is very effective.
yes.
Oh yes, yeah. Auto resolve with the sad boats. Yes, done. Yes, yes. So there's this Royal Navy they said is really powerful. I disagree. So let's go ahead and continue that thesis and put these boats in the water where they can just have fun and splash their friends in the water. And I want them all to have a good time. Splash their friends with picric acid. Okay, the Blast Hard Cheese class, ooh, nice, has already been sent out to sea. Nice. I'm going to just see if Britain's willing to fight, because if not, that's going to be very sad. All right, where's this guy going? There's a cruiser. He's sending a cruiser and a torpedo boat against me at a time. That's very...
And thank you for the polo zeros.
Thank you. I'm gonna just send all of my fleet in off of England. All right.
Bombs away.
Well, I'm just gonna put the whole fleet off the western reaches of the United Kingdom and hope they realize that I win. Because I now control all the harbors. Yep, like this. They cannot replace the transport losses. I certainly can. Alright, let's see. I've got the Royal Navy pretty much bottled up where I want them. Unfortunately, my ship overhead is going to eat in fairly quickly unless I can bring my finances to heed. So, it's going to suck. We'll make it happen, though. I am blockading the Royal Navy. Excellent. The Austro-Hungarian Navy will strangle them. I will
Let's bring
prevent...
in some
Oh, go ahead.
quote-unquote willing participants from France to help you.
Oh, I see what you're saying. No, I don't need to. I'm just going to strangle them with my navy.
Oh, there you go.
Looks like they want to have a fight. He loses. Ah, yes. A proper fleet action. Excellent. Let us reduce the Royal Navy to cinders.
That is a beautiful mustache, sir.
That is a wonderful mustache. Once upon a time.
Sir William Christopher Packingham.
Admiral, yes, Admiral. Did you know that in the Royal Navy, if you want to grow a beard, you're allowed to. However, you're given like a month. You're given 1 month to basically do your best. And that's it. You have 1 month to do your best. And if you can't grow it after a month, the captain looks at it and is like, that's a shit beard. And you can't have a beard. But if you grow a good beard, like in a month, that's okay. So it's like, all right, you want to have facial hair? Fine, show me what you've got. And if you don't, they're like, nope. I think that's kind of fun. All right, so it says there.
Well, no. It would be even better as if you have to keep the beard, but now your name is Shitbeard.
They're like, what a shit beard. Take a picture of it and show it to his family.
Look, it's Gunny Shitbeard.
I've had facial hair since I was like 14, so that's easy for me. But when like I've had a mustache since I was 14, but what I think is pretty funny is I could see some officer trying to act all tough, and he's like, I went to the academy, and they're like, well, they didn't teach you how to grow facial hair in the academy, and he's like,
27, and he still has the pedo beard.
Not everyone can grow it well, but yeah, it's just kind of funny. Oh yeah, until wartime when they make you shave it because of firefighting duty, right? Yeah, it's like obvious safety first, but I'm just saying that's a neat tradition. Oh, here's their navy. Let's do it. All right, so the battle line is formed, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna get abreast.
Abreast.
Yes, and we are going to plow in.
Plow into their breasts.
Ideally. I need to eliminate as much of their surface fleet as possible. And I don't care if they sink all these boats, because most of these are very old. Yeah, these are all older boats. Sant'Andra. All right, we're just gonna keep shooting a hellacious fire of rounds as my guys try to form up and realize that this is in fact the direction in which we should be going. Oh, it's gonna be a point blank throwdown. Can text use a red, green, gold dot sight? Yes, even though I don't see color, I can still see the icon. I just have to change the illumination. Some things I seem to pick up a little better in different light, though. Hold on. Oh,
ramming speed with the torpedo. Oh, it's gone.
Yeah, the torpedo just... Torpedoes in this time period, Tom, are very, like, I am tired. They don't work. You'll put them in the water, and they're like, ugh, and then just slowly move. These two are pretty good, though. Oh, yes, indeed. That's a good shot. So we're just going to cruise in here and break their whole navy in one go, because that's funny. Now, taking 2 torpedo hits is pretty bad.
They hit simultaneously, so it's like one really big torpedo.
Pretty much. And ideally, you want your torpedoes to actually hit different parts of the hull. You want them to be spread out or straddle a section. You want to break as many seams as possible in the hull. That being
the
said,
bottom of the boat fills up with, like, blood and stuff. Yes,
that's what the torpedo does. It fills the ship with blood, and then the blood no float good, and everyone die. Actually, modern torpedoes don't even hit the fucking ship, really. They blow up under it and break its back. So there's a lot of stuff. And back in the day, though, it was just like, put a bunch of explosives in a tube. It'll
Wouldn't
hurt
that
them.
be the ship's belly?
No, it's the spine.
I feel like it'd be more like the belly of the.
Are you
of
gonna
the
sit
ship.
there and be like, "Where would a ship wear pants, Mr. Tex?" Because I'm gonna tell you, I hate the answer to that.
Well, obviously the ship.
Well, it
wear
would hold them
pants
up with its torpedo belt.
on the poop deck.
I hate this. I hate this. So we're just gonna blow up these boats as best we can and remind the world that coal powers it. So yeah. Oh no, they hit my ship and there was a little explosion. Oh well, next ship. Must fight whole Royal Navy. Must win. I'm not jumping as much at things. So where does a boat wear pants? As Tom said, around the poop deck, of course.
Well,
Ah, yes, the flying fish has sunk. Well, that's what happens when you name your torpedo boats after dumb stuff.
TB Japanese.
Yeah, flying
or no?
fish. They aren't really that mighty.
No, I mean you could name them after other things.
They're probably like 12 inches long.
I mean, there's other scarier stuff in the ocean you could name a ship after, like fish-wise. You
Or
know,
sea urchins, you know.
the sea urchin class. What's it do? It
Very
very
spiky.
very
You don't want to ram it.
long-lived. Long-lived. It is. That's what it is. It's
No step on urchin.
the sand dollar class.
Why do you call it the sand dollar class?
Well, I found it on a beach.
It's just a rowboat with a shotgun.
It's any ship that showed up at the breaker's yard is going to be rechristened as a sand dollar class. I found it. That's how the Black Pants Legion gets its navy. We just start showing up at a breaking yard and we're like, no, we gotta we have the title for this. This is ours.
Oh, thank you for the follow. Links in space and a sea urchin class would be a mine layer. Yeah. All right.
What about one of them horseshoe crabs? Go horseshoe crab.
Oh
They
no!
look scary.
Keep the Pokemans out of this.
Horseshoe crabs terrify me. I don't know why.
Yeah, they are.
They look scary.
They look like somebody put them on this planet as a joke.
They look like a Cthulhu monster.
Baby Thulus.
Yeah, they look like something you need to dynamite. You're like, well, we found these again. People will start going crazy unless we put them under.
God, could you imagine a horseshoe crab like the size of Tom's car?
That'd be a not inconsiderable size horseshoe crab.
Yeah.
It might be all the little feetsies, you're right. And if you guys ever want to join the Ox, remember, hit ! and Discord, and you'll get a link there to join the auxiliary. It's quite nice.
One Discord, please.
There. Come here.
The Amphitrite. The Amphitrite. Well, he's going to need some amphetamines to deal with the butcher's bill of today, because my Navy's just driving through like it works here. This is great.
Gonna be the not fish right here in a second.
Oh, indeed. Oh dear, all the ships are burning. Most terrible. Yes.
Sinks due to excessive fire.
Ah, yes, it looks like the battleship got away. Yes, Britain wants to surrender.
This guy wants to know if side exhausts are awesome or badass. And I have to say, badass.
I'm gonna say that you're right. So let's see. Let's see if Britain actually does. Yep, Britain surrendered. I'm taking Gibraltar, Malta, and yeah, I'll take Gibraltar and Malta. I'm taking it. Gibraltar's mine. I own Gibraltar. Gibraltar belongs to the Austro-Hungarian Empire.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That is how you break history. Now let's get our boats back and let's get the rest of the Navy back to port, because it's very expensive to put in the water. But hey, I got some free islands and now I control the Mediterranean. Not bad for an empire that people have made fun of forever. Not bad at all.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna.
Here's the Austrian, Hungarians.
All right, cool. Everything's fine. Economy's all stabilized. It's all good. I've
Just
got my.
I was gonna say, just don't piss off Iceland.
I understand. I'm gonna scrap all of the old Brahms class, which Mike helped us put together, because they have now outlived their design life. And now those vessels will be replaced. Even the Brahms-A is going to be replaced with Blast Hard Cheese.
Nice.
What a great ship class. Yeah, I just said I'm not really impressed by other navies. They're like, hey, are other navies good? And I'm like, I haven't seen one.
Mr. Nick, you should build the torpedo fishing boat armada.
I've done this. I've already done this.
Yes.
Well, Nick, as you may not notice, Gibraltar, a prominent Austro-Hungarian port, as is Tunisia and Corsica and Valletta, you know, just all very predominantly this. And as you know, the Royal Navy and the French Navy, well, French Navy twice, surrendered to the Austro-Hungarian Navy on several occasions, known for their great power and mystique. So what I need to do now is replace the whole Navy with Blast Hard Cheese, which is ideal. So I will have 60 vessels.
Comma blast.
Blast Hard Cheese. So, let's see. Now I need to reduce my financial load a lot, just for a turn to finish these fucking ships.
Soon to be replaced by Biff Big Gun.
Ideally, right now, oof. Yeah, let's get into the fleet. Okay, so how many do I have? I got 30. I think I can afford probably that many seems good. 49. You know what? Let's make it 40. I think 40 is fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There. 40 cruisers, I can afford that for a long time. And let's keep building our Navy up, because I'm going to build Dreadnoughts next. I just need to finish my shipyard first.
Shipyard of Gibraltar.
Yeah, that's probably going to make the Brits really mad, that I was like, hey, you know that rock you like? It's mine now. And they're like, but I have a summer home there. And I'm like, I agreed. You have been evicted. Ah, yes, fast torpedoes. Excellent.
It's going to be a nice workhouse for the shipment.
Yeah.
Ship build mans.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hang out. My unrest is 0. Naval prestige is 144. Everything's nice. The shipyard is gonna eat me alive, unfortunately. But that's fine. Building this bigger shipyard is what I need. And I'm also starting to antagonize the Italians. Because, yes. And then as soon as these things are done, I'll just build another generation of them, and they'll be even more horrifying. Oh, cool. Germany's building new sorts of cruisers and stuff. How scary. Oh, well. Let's get into... Let's see. Let's get into better explosives. Or even better. Let's get into rangefinders.
Gonna build a whole lot of torpedo boats, fight the Russians with them. Yeah, or the Chinese.
I mean, I can do whatever I need, but I mean, it's their mistake was, what's the word? Believing they were safe. So let's get into better engines. I have, but I can up armor all these things horrifyingly so they can fight even greater numbers. And yeah, I can get into TNT, but that's not what I want actually. What I want is, let's increase the main belt. There we go. And let's get the speed up to 23 knots. No, 22 knots is about where it can take it. More armor, though, which will be hilarious, and superstructure armor is unheard of because it's routinely seen as a waste. All right, there we go. Now these things are even worse, and I want them to enjoy the pain, and that I'm going to let them have a good time with, because it's 1900. We're going to party like it's 1899. And I know.
Weld a couple more sheets on the outside.
Yep. Also got to tear all the skin off the vessel because armor composition change. So that would suck. It would be very unpleasant. You would just be like, why? It's like, cut it down to the waterline and rebuild the whole thing. It would be unpleasant. Ah, yes, the shipyard has now just gotten bigger. Excellent. I can get back to actually training people instead of showing people pictures of ships. So excellent. And fleet. I need to design a new ship, and I think that's where we can end it for tonight. I think that would do nicely. It's just a new ship. Let's do a new design to embrace the might of Austro-Hungary. Oh, Dreadnoughts. Excellent. 22,000.
Small Dreadnought.
Well, yeah, if we built a pocket Dreadnought,
Yeah,
it's actually
pockets.
it's kind of dangerous. All right, let's do this. And
Oh, you could put the stuff anywhere you want. That's sick.
it is. It pleases my autism in ways that I must be careful because they'll hear me giggle and I'll never hear the end of it. So let's see, 10-inch guns all around. 10 inches is enough for anybody. Let's go ahead and put this there. No, I mean in this time period. You don't start getting to like 13-inch guns until the 20s and 30s, to be honest.
Like, why are you doing this with a 13-inch gun? Are you thinking you're the Yamato?
Back then, a 13-inch gun would have been like horrifying. Like they would have said,
Yes.
why?
Like 13 inches wide.
That's the muzzle diameter, yeah.
Oh, gee whiz.
Yeah, that's and then by World War II they get up to 16 inches. So it's different. And I'm gonna
That's rather wide.
It is.
Yes, Tom.
It is an enormous rotundity of shells, yes. Actually, hold on, if I make these all center line, that could be kind of neat. That's a long boy citadel. 4-weight offset is not bad. Let's knock this back an inch. Right there.
Might have been a little more than an inch.
I know. It was many, many yards. Let's see. 8-inch guns for my secondaries because I'm a monster. And then, let's see. 3-inch guns for small boats. There we go. Small boat guns established, and then we're going to do multiple expansion steam engines. This is not exactly a Dreadnought, but it's close enough. And for our purposes, this thing might as well be Star Wars technology. All right, let's do 16-inch guns. We're going to do picric acid. We're going to do ballistite. Choices. Yeah, let's just stick with what works. Heavy shells and much of them. And really good rangefinder. All right, so now let's just build a monster early. There we go. And let's adjust the armor here. There we go. 3-inch citadel. Oof. It's going to be great. Let's see. Let's make that a 16-inch conning tower, so nobody can kill the officers so easily if they even get promoted to the point of being able to do this. 2 inches of superstructure sounds hilarious. 4 inches on all facings. Oh, man. This is horrifying amounts of armor. Well, I don't think I'm going to have any roll stability. I think, in fact, the ocean is going to have difficulty getting out of the way of this thing. Oh, well. Let's just increase the length of those shells and the 10-inch guns as well. There we go. Tom, I need a name for this mighty vessel. A mighty warrior.
Big, McLarge, huge.
You got it. Big, McLarge, huge. You got it. 22,000 tons of displaced dreadnought. Not bad. Not bad at all. And we'll build a few.
Man tub.
Yeah, we'll just build 4 of them. That'll remind the world that Austro-Hungary is a dangerous nation. At any rate, though, I think I'm going to wind it up for tonight. I think that'll do. Just to prove that Austro-Hungary between 1890 and 1900 destroyed France twice and England once to become the preeminent power of the Mediterranean. And, I appreciate you guys indulging this madness. Thank you guys for joining me as well, and thank all of you for your fine support. And thank you, Tom, and thank you, Bulk. And earlier, thanks to Mike. Have I missed anything?
I think you got it, man.
Fuck yeah. Dun 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 dun.